Morning, San. How are you? Okay, very good, very good. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company. I break beach last week. Uh, you know how that is happening sometimes. It's just a matter of other engagements or just a matter of rest. I think in that particular instance, which was last week, right? So as usual, it's a pleasure being here discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. And of course, like our previous program, which wasn't last week, but the week before that, we had a lot of engagement and that was welcome. We usually have a lot of engagement, but on that particular day, it was really, really good. And I want us, to keep up that momentum because at that particular or on that particular program, I was able to address a lot of questions that covered a wide variety of subjects. And that usually makes the program better in the sense that a lot of persons listening, more persons would benefit, obvious. Because if you only speak about diabetes, well, then only people who have diabetes might benefit. But if someone calls and speak about thyroid, we have people, we dealt with thyroid, we dealt with skin issues, we dealt with hypertension, we dealt with poor circulation based on the questions we got. We also dealt with polycystic ovarian syndrome, hormonal imbalance. There were some questions we got on low sperm count. Right, so keep that momentum going. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning to our social media listeners and followers. So keep in mind, and those of you who are listening and who may not be following us as yet, you can do that on any one of the social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. So, no one is left out. And of course, when you actually like us, follow us on Facebook, you actually have access to a lot of the previous lives that we would have done, as well as testimonies, information on products, special services that we have. And that works because our website right now is still being basically done over. There are a lot of things that we have to change because of, now dealing with persons in the Caribbean and overseas and that type of thing. Good. So, again, you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Let me say a pleasant good morning to my esteemed colleagues, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bustamante, and of course, Mr. Stefan Villalba. And they are the consultants that work at Batson and Associates. And any one of our 4 locations, let me say a special good morning to Tobago. Tobago, we're nearing the finish line. We're finishing your office. God, you all don't know how happy I am because that was a lot of work. But nothing good comes easy. So we almost at the end, at the finish line. So God's willing, that office is going to be fully operational. We're looking at best we say January and done because December we have holidays and have things that we need to see about and that type of thing. So definitely God's willing from January. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Pamela Moses, Miss Perlin Henry Rajpal. Good morning to you, Storm Clement Superville, Miss Vanetta Reed. Good morning, Miss Kamala Samaru. Pleasant good morning to you guys. So those persons coming in on the Facebook, on Instagram, now you say a pleasant good morning to Hazelnut Cake and DDV49. Watch me. People, these Instagram names, for some reason, somehow you have some names like, them names are too Christian and all, interchange everything on them. So keep in mind our telephone numbers for head office, Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, DB, which is located on the corner of Ramsey-Mooch Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in DB. That telephone number is 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. So those of you who know where we are, we in the same place, We just basically next door with a separate entrance because it's a larger space. So in the same building, and that telephone number for Tobago, which is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. I'll actually be working I should be working in Tobago, not this Monday, Tuesday, but next Monday, God's willing. So you can always call that number for your appointments and whatnot as regards for that. So with that being said, what are we going to discuss this morning? So I decided that I would touch on PMS again. PMS is an acronym for postmenopausal syndrome, which the reason why I said I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that topic is because there are a lot of women out there who, how do I put this, boy? Okay, so let me clear up a misconception that a lot of persons have, including your doctor. So there's a misconception that women, when they go through menopause, everything is hormonally well with you, and that is the end of your hormonal journey in life, basically. So because you no longer see a menstrual cycle, you're no longer ovulating, and certain hormonal changes has taken place in your body, and you have ceased seeing a menstrual cycle, which scientifically is known as menopause, it is the belief by a lot of persons, including some gynecologists, that your hormonal journey in life has ended. Let me tell you something. That is the biggest mistake that you can make in your life. Right, ladies? I'll say it again. Not because you have gone through menopause, it means that your hormonal journey in life has ended. The only time your hormonal journey ends is when you die. Okay? So, in other words, you can be a 75-year-old woman and have hormonal imbalance. That's what I'm trying to tell you all. Because for some reason, there are people who believe, and I don't understand that because these people did anatomy and physiology, they went to school, so they're supposed to understand certain things, right? You can be 75 years, female, went through menopause at the age of 40. So 40 minus 75 is what, 35? So 35 years would have passed, and you could have things like fibroids. You can have, because you could have had fibroids before, and the fibroids never went away. And then because of hormonal irregularities that we have now, because there are women who have serious hormonal imbalance. Hence the reason I'm having this discussion this morning. So you have to understand, because you ask women, so do you get any hot flashes? They're like, nah, I didn't pass that stage in my life. I done gone. No. You need to make sure everything all right as it relates to your endocrine system as well as your hormonal system. And I'm going to explain why. It is because of PMS. So post-menopausal syndrome, or PMS, post means what? After, subsequently. Good? So they're talking about after menopausal syndrome. So what are some of the symptoms? Insomnia, depression, anxiety, elevated blood pressure. So all the time you're going good, you know. Your 40s, early 40s, your pressure reading good. You went through menopause at 45, thing going good at 50 and nice. 51, bam, blood pressure going up. All of a sudden you suffering from high blood pressure. And you don't know why, and well, the doctor even worse. He don't know why either. So I'm telling you why. Post-menopausal syndrome. So be very, very careful, ladies, as it relates to seeing about your hormones and making sure that everything is in a particular gear, as they say. Because, hey, I've seen a familiar face there, boy. Because, sir, how are you? I am quite good, sir. How are you? You're good? All right, nice, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so because of that, ladies, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have a lot of problems. Your hair start to fall, your hair start to thin, you find your skin unusually dry. Listen to me, that's not age, you know. That is PMS, postmenopausal syndrome. The unfortunate thing is that women who end up with postmenopausal syndrome at a very, how to put it, boy, elevated level, they're going to have really bad insomnia, really bad depression, terrible anxiety. I mean, these ladies, your nerves literally wreck. So much so that if it is not dealt with properly, you could end up in a situation where you can end up with a nervous breakdown. I have dealt with a lot of patients and clients with this situation. And usually when they come to me, they would have prescriptions for certain types of medication. So things like Zoloft, they would have started already. Sleeping tablets like amitriptyline, and those things like Rivotril, which I am not really a fan of for extended use. If it is they give you for a short period of time, well, then it's okay. Because as I said, when women have that hormonal imbalance, even after menopause, and the thing is, you can have an easy transition, you know, so you can go through menopause. So let's say you went through menopause at 45, you completed menopause, let's say, 47, 48. So all the hot flashes, everything went. So by 49, you good. You can have some good years. So you could have 49, 40, no, 50 could be good, 51, 52, 53. And 54, the madness start again. And you don't realize, because you may not necessarily get hot flashes. Hot flashes is one of the least or the easiest side effect or symptomology of menopause that women get. Most women get hormonal hot flashes, sorry. What a lot of women get, and they do not know that it is related to that, is depression, anxiety, and insomnia. So to the married individuals out there, when as a husband, you're going to be in some serious problems, because your wife crying every minute. She feels to cook food today, all sorts of situations. She always grumpy, and poor they, biting nice, because you don't know better. But the thing is, you have to kind of be empathetic in the situation, because she is behaving in a particular way that she doesn't even know how she behaving or why she behaving like that. That's to tell you how bad it is. So the reason why, as I said, I'm discussing this topic is so that if you have any ladies out there, and I'm sure there are lots of you, and you don't know what is going on with you, so all of a sudden you have, I'm telling you, insomnia, depression, anxiety. What is anxiety? How do you define anxiety? Anxiety, you have different levels of anxiety, but let me give you a basic understanding of what anxiety is. If you have an elevated heart rate with no reason, most of the time it is an anxiety situation and not a cardiovascular system. So problem, sorry. So a lot of the times that has nothing to do with your heart. It is a central nervous system issue, anxiety. Because and it usually happens late in the night, in the evening. You find you have weakness in your legs, so you're tired. You get up to walk and that's it. You cannot walk. I remember dealing with a client in Tobago when I dealt with that client, but that maybe was about 3 years ago. And when she came to me, she came into the office. Her sons brought her, and this lady couldn't stay in the office. The way she started to behave is as if she literally started to hyperventilate in the room. So I am looking at her in the office there. I told her sons, I said, listen, she doesn't have to stay inside of here. I already have my consultant took all the information. I have all the blood work and everything. I know what it is I need to do it. So take her in the car. And I sat down and I explained some things to them. And her son was saying, she said, Dr. Batson, listen to me. Someone told us about you, and basically, I don't like how my mom looking. And he told me, he said there would have been times when she would have been cooking in the kitchen, and all of a sudden they would hear a loud noise. You know what happened? She fell. And it's not as if she tripped on something, no, she literally just fell down. Her legs just couldn't take. There was no strength in the legs. So I'm trying to give you a visual of how serious this thing is. When you cannot sleep as an individual, think about this. What is the purpose of sleep? Sleep has one primary reason or one primary purpose. And the purpose of sleep is to regenerate and rejuvenate neurotransmitters. What are neurotransmitters? Neuro meaning brain, transmitters meaning messengers. So the brain, the nerve messengers in the body need sleep in order to rejuvenate and recuperate primarily. That's basically what sleep is. You could go in depth and we look at various biological functions, chemical functions, but the whole purpose of sleep primarily is so that that neurological system is rejuvenated and kept at a particular level so that other systems in the body could function. So you realize someone who is sleep deprived, there are a number of things you will not be able to do. You can't speak properly. You will not be able to read properly. And when I say you do, even the thing is, when you're sleep deprived, like they gave some examples. There were some tests that they did. Do you know that driving sleepy is worse than driving drunk? Good. Think about it. It is worse to drive sleepy as opposed to driving intoxicated. That's just to help you to understand how important sleep is. And if you are sleep deprived, there are a number of things you cannot do. Your cognitive function is going to decline. Your memory is going to decline. Your ability to reason is going to decline. Your ability, your reflexes will significantly be challenged as a period of time. And the longer you stay without proper sleep, the more issues you have. There was a study that was done at Harvard University. I think that was maybe about 5-6 years ago. And one of the things that they said is that people who work like in the night, work shift, that kind of thing. One of the things that they experience is that once you do that long enough, you lose anywhere between 8 to 14 years of your lifespan. So I'll say that again. When you do not sleep well, when you lose sleep, people who have jobs, like for example, nurses, doctors, whatever the case may be, and when you lose sleep, you essentially can lose anywhere between 8 to 14 years of your lifespan. So imagine that. So you might make a 80 and you're sleep deprived and you really were supposed to make 94. Right? The Bible tells you 3 scores and 10. That's what, 70. And they say because of special mightiness, you get it 10, you might go further, right? So that's just to help you to understand how important sleep is. Now, there's a very good product that we carry at Batson Associates for sleep, which I'm going to mention somewhere along the line. But why is Elixir the one? Because right now we're out of stock. And I understand we may have about 200 people waiting. But God's willing, we're going to get that. You know how customs and certain things is at this time of the year. And even say with COVID and all these wars, we had some challenges. But, you know, God is we're going to get what we need to get. So by next week, please God, we're going to have that for you guys. Right? But that is one of the importance. So your sleep is fundamental. And if it is you're not sleeping properly, I am not a man who gives guarantee, because no man, human being could give you a guarantee. I tell people, the only guarantee I have is with God. Right? However, what I will tell you is that if you listen to what we say at Batson and Associates, you're going to start to sleep. What you need to do, though, let me make something vehemently clear to you. And I said this before some weeks ago. You have to be consistent and disciplined in what it is you're doing. Consistency and discipline will carry you way further than talent. I always tell people that. If you look at the Usain Bolts, the Serena Williams, the LeBron James, all these people, they're talented, right? But if they were not consistent and disciplined in what they were doing, they would not have been which part? They would not have been considered, what they call them, the GOAT, greatest of all time. Yeah. So you have to understand that your health is your responsibility. And I always say it over and over and over and over and over again. One of the best books I ever read is a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And one of the things that book taught me, because it's like a motivational something, but one of the things I learned is that when they was talking about wealth, do you know that financial wealth was the last aspect of wealth that they spoke about? You know what's the first aspect of wealth they spoke about? The first one was spiritual wealth, which is the most important. I always tell people that. Because even from the perspective of integrative medicine, being a practitioner for what, the past 13 years, one of the things that we experience or we understand is that you have a spiritual body. You have a spiritual body, then you have what we call your supramental, which is your subconscious mind, which a lot of times you think you have control over, but most people cannot control the subconscious mind. That's a whole different discussion there. Then you have your mental body, which is the neurological aspect of the conscious mind. And then you have the vital body, which is the energy body, and the last body is your physical body. The point I'm making is that in that book, one of the things that they said, or they showed, the author was who? But that was one Napoleon Hill boy. And one of the things he said is that your health, as it relates to your physical wealth, is more important after your spiritual wealth. And money was last. It was quite down to the bottom. Because they also talk about relationship with family and all those type of things. So a lot of people don't understand that. You could have the world of money and you're sick enough. And let me tell you something, contrary to popular belief, money doesn't save you all the time with health. It doesn't. Ironic, eh? People might think, well, you know, I have plenty of money. I might be a millionaire. Might be one of them fellas. You might be in the billionaire category. Well, let me tell you something. If you do not take care of yourself, that money can help you. It can. I know of examples of people who came to me, and believe me, they wasn't hand to mouth, and I couldn't help them. And I told them that. There's a particular instance, without giving out too much information, there was someone who came to me who did kidney transplant. So they did a kidney transplant. They had a situation, they were on dialysis, they suffered renal failure, they were on dialysis for like about 3 2 to 3 years. And of course, because of they being affluent, you know, they were actually able to secure a kidney pretty quickly, because 3 years to get a kidney is pretty fast compared to a lot of other people. Some people wait way longer than that. So I think it was like maybe about a year and a half. So they got their own pretty quickly. And it was because, you know, they were well-to-do. So they went, they got the kidney and that kind of thing. But here's the explanation I'm going to give you. Nothing, I'll say it again, nothing in the human body that you currently have, that is the original, works better than any other thing they could put inside of you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Some people live vicariously, and they live in this kind of way where they figure I could do anything. Health-wise, I could drink alcohol, I could smoke cigarette, I could have 15,000 women. You live life. All kind of thing you do. And you figure, hey, here what? I just spend some money, go buy some doctors. And no, it don't work so, brother. Sister, it don't work so at all. Because when he came to me, I couldn't help him, you know. You know why? Whenever you do an organ transplant, you have to be put on a specific category of drugs. The category of drugs are known as immune suppressants. Because regardless of the match, in medicine, there is never 100% match in anything, you know, even blood, you know. When they tell you, hey, I have a blood match, or your blood is O1, my blood is O1, you could give me some of your blood. No, brother, man. No. Blood is a completely complicated, different thing. Are you aware that your blood carries? The Bible says the blood is what? The river of life. You know your blood does carry emotion? Think about it. Remember, you're not only a physical being, you know. So blood in itself, apart from the chemistry of blood, your blood does carry emotion. I'll give you an example quickly. There was this particular situation with this lady who, she was in the hospital. She apparently got into an accident, and you know, they had to rush her, whatever the case may be, and they were looking for blood, frantic, whatever the case may be, and they got blood for her, and they gave her a blood transfusion. Some weeks passed, she went back home, and she would be constantly seeing this male figure. Now she can make out, she's recognizing the physical attributes of the man, right? So his face, height, stature, everything. But she's confused because she don't know this man. So, okay, some time passed. So she's studying about, wait, I wonder if I should tell my husband this, because you know your husband is going on with you. So she's telling him now, she said, listen to me, I am seeing this male figure. So he are now looking at like, well, you say, well, girl, you know, you was under surgery, you know, you went through some pressure, whatever the case may be, ting. So, you know, all that, he figured must be medication, he figured it's stress, because she wasn't sleeping, whatever the case. So time passed. I think it was a year and a half passed. And she's still seeing it. And she could distinctly recognize this man if she sees him somewhere. So there was a time she went back in the hospital to do her checks and whatever the case may be. And coming down the corridor, she saw the man. Now, I'll tell you the story. This situation I'm a pause raising. Watch me. She nearly fall down there now. So she's telling the nurse now, she say, that gentleman there, she said, well, yeah, thing, whatever the case may be. She said, but she didn't tell her the details. She said, well, who is he? You know, she said, yeah. He said, well, he is one of our regular blood donors.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That is the blood that she got. So when we look at things from a physical perspective, it is not only, and that's what I tell people, you know, the human body, the only time the physical body takes precedence over the other bodies is during emergency. You fall along your bust your head, you're losing blood, you can't go where you come. I mean, you could pray for you, yes, but you need an emergency surgeon. I tell people, doctors who work in emergency surgeons are some of the best surgeons in the world. You know why? They work under pressure. So they don't know what they're going to get. You know if you're going to get a bullet wound, if you're going to get a stab victim, accident, shot, trauma to the head. You don't know what you're getting. So them fellas and them well-trained. The point I'm making is that when the physical body requires attention, it takes precedence over all the other bodies. But let me explain something to you now. So, and that is why I tell people, you have to know place and time. You have to know doctor and function. You'd always hear me saying that I am not in the politics of medicine. And that's the reason why I am not in the politics of medicine. I am not the doctor for everybody. I always say that. If you're pregnant and time for you to make children, do not come by me. I don't know how to deliver a child. Nor any of my colleagues, none of our organizations. I never deliver a baby yet. There were women who came to us with infertility. On record, we have 175 that couldn't make children and all have children now. On record, 175 testimonies, maybe because everybody wouldn't give testimonies because that is the business, personal business. So we have maybe like about 50 to maybe about 100. Couldn't get pregnant. So you see where the service comes in? My service is to help those women who have things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, blocked fallopian tube, and the whole list of problems. And because of that, that female couldn't get pregnant. Time and place, doctor and purpose. So understand that. So when you see people coming with the politics, with the doctor tell me don't drink garlic, and the doctor tell me don't take this. No. Time and place. He can't say that. She can't say that. They don't know. They didn't learn. And don't let anybody pull you in this nonsense to tell you that they don't have any evidence. No. You can't be reading a comic book and expect to get what's inside our newspapers.
Yes.
Don't be reading comic books and expect to find what you'll find in the papers. Don't talk shoppiness for big people. You do not know. You know not taught. Stay out of people's business. You don't know. And drink your water. Exactly so. Drink your water. So Trinidad and Tobago, that's just to help you to understand that you have to know what you're doing where your health is concerned. So whether your problem is poor circulation, your problem is diabetes, your problem is heart, if you want help, we're willing to help you. And you all know me by now. We not no games, you know. We have too much clients. There's hundreds of people I just deal with, you know. So I want people who want to get better. If you know you come in to play and no, wrong place. That places you could go for that. They'll go to get a little quick injection, you get something for pain, 3 months the pain gone, and then you go back again, you're in pain again. So if you like that, I'd operate so. I'm not on that. If you know it says you have no self-control and you're licorice, you eat swin, wrong doctor. Because you're going to get a diet sheet. And I'm going to tell you that you cannot drink coffee as much as you was drinking it before, and you cannot use too much of bread, and you cannot use too much of potato, and all this starch and hydrogenated oils. And you all know the thing, you know. The thing is, as human beings, we know what we're supposed to do to be better. But we don't do it all the time. For a number of reasons, that is not making an excuse. Sometimes, you know, it's the children, it's the travel. God, the traffic. by the time you reach home, you ain't even want to cook. You want to pass somewhere and get food. So I understand we have some...
That's a whole other job by itself.
Of course. Preparing a meal is a lot of work. When I had to do food prep for myself, I just be stressed out. I mean, sometimes I get... have it organized for me, but still it's a lot of work because I foresee I only want provision and quinoa, and it has certain things I just not eating. And that came over a period of time, you know. So what I'm saying in general, even if you maintain a 80-20 rule, we can live with a 80-20 rule, where you have 80% good and, you know, the 20% you eat the little ice cream and the little cake and the little, you know, we'll forgive you for that. But you can't be eating nonsense every day. These people who drinking soft drink, all they don't know by now soft drink is good for you. I remember as a young man growing up, what time we used to get soft drink was once for the Christmas time. And I even want to call the name, the one with the P on it. Everybody know what that is. You used to look forward to that. As children, we used to make jokes. We used to throw that in a glass and watching the bubbles and leaning back and talking stripping and saying, but we drinking champagne. Because we know we only used to get that once a year. We only used to get that once a year. But look at now, children drinking 3 and 4 soft drink for the day. I was speaking to a client recently, right? We're going to go to the telephone lines just now. And one of the things I was telling them, to tell you how important food is, if you all don't believe me, when I talk and I make noise in all ears and tell you all, you still have to eat a little better. And I was actually listening to something recently, and I think the president of the Diabetic Association of Trinidad and Tobago, one of the things he was saying is that, you know, he was making mention that the government needs to do something as regards to making health things, you know, a little more reasonable. And I totally agree. And I have been, you know, voicing my opinion where that is concerned for a while now, because I believe it really is a challenge to really eat healthy. I mean, when you compare rice to provision, you compare things like quinoa, and you want proper olive oil, and you have to spend your money. And I mean, not everybody. So there are other people who are willing, especially diabetics, because one of the reasons he was saying that, I don't know if persons are aware, but we have one of the largest diabetics population in the world per capita. We have one of the largest amounts of numbers as it relates to adolescent diabetics, as well as adolescent obesity. So we're not doing too good with them children, and then we are now, you know. This last generation is what is Gen Z? Is it Gen Z? I think there's one after. Right. It's Gen Z, right? Good. Yeah, let me tell you something about these Gen Z children and them that all you have here. So parents, and I know I don't put water in my mouth to say nothing. So if it is you don't want to hear me, if there's an off button on your radio, press it, and then you could come back, about 11, 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12. I wouldn't be here. All right? So let me explain something to you all. And this is the reason why I'm talking about this morning too. So it's not like I'm jumping all over the place. You all realize it has some structure here. But I had to talk about this. Parents, feed your children properly. I'm begging all you. Within the last 2 years, the amount of young children that we have seen has significantly increased. My youngest diabetic now is what? 6 years? That child came to me. Yeah, my youngest diabetic client on file is 6. The youngest client with polycystic ovaries on file is 11. Hear what I'm saying? No? 11 years. The youngest client with stroke is 16. The youngest client with cancer child is about 8. The youngest eczema, well, let's talk about that. Whoa, the youngest eczema patient I have is a baby. Wow. And eczema is becoming more and more and more prevalent with these children. The youngest arthritis patient I have is 15 years. 15 years. And they came to us in a wheelchair. They couldn't walk. They already, their hands were already like this, literally like this. Couldn't open their hand, couldn't close their hands. They can't make a fist. 15 years, you know. So parents, what do you think it is? Tell me, honestly, answer me what you feel it is. Let me tell you something, it's the stupidness that all they call food that all they're giving them children to eat. You see this nonsense? I don't know, for some reason there's a snack culture now. I don't know where that nonsense come from. I'm 43 years this year. I was 43. And I remember growing up. Did we have lunch kits, boy? Yeah, man, we had lunch kit.
Yes, we did.
We had lunch kits. It wasn't like the lunch kit that I know. Our lunch kits would have fallen on break. We had those kind of plastic lunch kits. I remember mine was blue. Right. So everybody have a lunch kit. And I know with lunch kit, you used to get your little, but this is how we used to eat. You have a little sada, you'll get bygone, pumpkin, okra, that kind of thing. That's how we grew up. We didn't get any set of meat, and my parents were very strict when coming to certain things where dietetics is concerned, because my mom, of course, being a nurse, and my father was very health conscious and that type of thing, right? So there were certain things that we were not allowed to eat as children. The thing is, now they have a snack culture, because I have nieces and nephews, and they say, but I'll get you, sir, I want snack. I was like, you want what? You want a snack? I said, okay, no problem. So I go on in the fridge and I take some grapes and I give the child watching me like the mad. Uncle Jason, where's this? I said, where's this? There's grapes. He said, no, I want snack. I say, want snack? I said, listen to me, come. I call my sister, I said, listen to me, come and get your child for me, please. Because I gave you things to eat and he like you want to ball along the place and make noise like if I killing you. I said, no, I'm not accustomed to this. So the thing is, this snack culture that all you have, this snack, you notice now that the schools changing with this thing, what you could let children come to school with one thing?
Yes.
All you realize that?
Yes.
And they lessen the soft drink and things. Yes. So even the authorities, which I find they take real long, but at least they come, because all they don't understand how serious this thing is. The World Health Organization some years ago said that this generation is going to be the first generation in human history where parents will bury their children and all you're not listening, all you're not hearing. You notice we have a high amount of children being born with autism now. Well, you know what autism? We have different spectrums of autism. There are a lot of children now who have serious problems with asthma, and they're telling you they're born with asthma. How you could be born with asthma? Oh madness, you're telling me. You could be born with a respiratory situation, but it wasn't asthma then. You're not born with asthma. What nonsense you're telling me? So you have a respiratory situation that is compounded because we have ladies now, because of the situation. Some women go through various situations after pregnancy. So some women able to produce milk, some women don't produce as much. There could be a number of things. But most mothers are able to breastfeed the children. And now you have breast pumps, you know, you're busy, you pump and your thing. And yeah, but we prefer children to be breastfed at least for a year, at least. So the thing is, you already know if it is your child at a disadvantage and that child was not breastfed for that long, listen to me, you need to play catch up. Because as they used to say long time, mustard in front of you. You need to catch up. So parents, I am appealing to you all. Please take better care of your children and do not let children rule you, especially when they are young. If you discipline children properly and give them proper food to eat, they are going to eat it. Stop this nonsense with bowling about is the texture, the food. What is no. They have too much of freedom. You go in my fridge and tell me what you want to eat. Where you working? You don't work nowhere. You're not bringing in no money inside here. You telling me about what you want to eat? No. That's the problem we have now. Too much of rice.
Yes.
So they're killing them now with all this sort of nonsense. Oh, you end up with a 6-year-old child with diabetes and telling me nonsense about the child born with diabetes. That child was not born with diabetes. When we check the records from the child did not have diabetes at birth. But no, at 3 years, he picked up a habit where he wants a soft drink every morning. And if he doesn't get the soft drink, he balling down the place and throwing a tantrum. And listen to me, the police would have come for me. Your intestines was coming out, your liver, your lungs. You'd have ball till you're dead. I am not giving you that to drink. What nonsense you telling me? What you like that?
Now come and say what you like.
Yeah, no. And parents, you all need to. Now the thing is, gentlemen, when I tell you this thing's serious, it's serious. You know it is to see a 6-year-old child. You have to get up every morning and stick your child with a needle in his belly at the age of 6. Trinidad and Tobago, let me paint a picture for you. I was never good at art. If they ask me to draw me, you'll see a stick man with hair. I can't draw. But let me paint a picture for you. If you have a child that is a diabetic, the child is started treatment at the age of 6. If that child is put on insulin, your child is not going to be alive. I am telling you this, by the age of 15. If that child is alive, let me tell you what's going to happen to that child. That child is going to be blind. They're going to have serious eye problems. The possibility greatly exists they are going to be obese. The possibility greatly exists they will not function at the level that you want them to function, academically, even physically, that type of thing, because of being on insulin. And a lot of people believe with insulin, because insulin primarily is given to what? Type 1 diabetics. Right? Usually that is what is supposed to happen. That does not happen all the time, because the glucose intolerance that a lot of people come in with now, especially these little children, because remember, you're looking at development. Children are what? Children, they're growing. Yes. Your development ends as a female 21, as a man 25. That's physical, mental, but there are certain things that they say they take a little while longer, but we don't need to get into all those intricacies. But that's basically it. Female 21, men 25. So you have a 4-year-old child or a 3-year-old child, and you're giving this child snack, they're getting soft drink, set of candy. Sugar, we know, is poison. If you don't know, sugar is poison. Sugar is poison. Sugar is 10 times more addictive than cocaine. So it essentially is a drug. So when you give children sugar, they get sweet. They will listen to me. They're holding on to that for their life, because you already spoiled them. So some of you have to go back to the drawing boards and change this up. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it, because I have spoken to parents, and a lot of them tend to have a kind of bad attitude. You can't have no bad attitude with me. Leave my place. Leave my office. And you have a nice day and go to your sick child. Because that 6-year-old child, I scolded those parents. I tell them, I say, y'all, I said they should lock y'all up. 3 years every morning that parent said that she gave that child a soft drink so that he wouldn't give her problems to get ready to school. And at the age of 5, she said he was thirsty, he always thirsty, drinking water. And then he started to complain of being very tired. And when they took him to the doctor and they did the blood sugar test, his sugar was over 400. That's a 5-year-old child. Listen, them would have make a jail if they had me to deal with. Because it is their fault while that child has diabetes.
Yes.
And you all need to come up with this crutch and this nonsense with my mother have it and the mother, father, sister, dog, and the neighbor. No. Sickness don't work so. I always tell people I come from a family of a lot of diabetics, plenty diabetics. But if you look at their history, what they ate and what they drink, they look for the diabetes, and that's why they had it. All right? So with that being said, I have argued enough. I've made a lot of noise with you all. I tried not to, but all in all it is. I started to tell the truth. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some telephone calls in a little bit. Let me just say a pleasant good morning to Miss Lisa Black. Miss Rianne Francis, she says, Dr. Batson, I have a client who has respiratory problems, and the doctors are giving her steroids to live on for the rest of her life. She has put on a lot of size and develop a thyroid problem. Also, can you help her out? Yeah, we can help with that. Definitely, we can help with that. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Grace Williams. Let me just take this question. And she says, good Sunday morning, Dr. Batson. I got a question. One of my good friends will be 90 years soon, and she is more like 30 years old with 60 years of experience. Good. She started to get everything, even my name, or she started to forget, everything, even my name, and repeat conditions and situations that I think, just now, let Shakil open that message for me. Most likely she's talking about the memory. I had done a program on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. I think that was when did I do that program? That was like about 2 months ago I did that program. But anyone who, oh right, she forgets. Okay, so she corrected it. Right, I think it is early dementia. What do you recommend to help, and is it a sign of aging? All right, so I'll answer this question, gentlemen, and then we're going to go to the studio. The thing is, I mean, 90 is long. I mean, Mommy makes some numbers there. And again, when you understand what clinical nutrition is, so let me give you an example. Clinical nutrition is nutrition for disease. I'll say it again. Clinical nutrition is nutrition for disease. So in the realm of nutrition, you have basics, right? So you have vitamins, which a lot of people know about. You have minerals, you have macronutrients, and you have micronutrients. So you have things like calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, selenium, manganese, and those type of things, right? Chromium, and the body needs a certain amount of minerals, especially, people don't even know minerals more important than vitamins, because minerals actually help maintaining, balancing what they call intracellular and extracellular fluid. So it actually balances fluid intake in the body. It balances and maintains electrolyte balance. It helps with muscle. It helps with memory, cognitive function, that type of thing. Majority of us walking around today are basically we undernourished. Let me put it like that. Undernourished. Now, some people might find, but this man, how you go tell people they're undernourished? You are. You are. Think about pre-COVID. How many people knew about vitamin D3? If I was in an audience now with 1,000 people with a show of hands, I'm telling you, 2 hands might have go up. People didn't know anything about vitamin D3. I've been using vitamin D3 for 15 years. Zinc. Not much people know about zinc. But after COVID, zinc became very popular. Why? Because zinc helps with the immune system. I take in zinc 15 years. And when I was doing my bachelor's and I had to do nutrition, those were fundamental things that you always give to your clients when you're dealing with. That's basic, that's fundamental. So think about all the people who didn't know and wasn't taking it, and think about all the people who know and still not taking it. Because we realize what vitamin D3 does. It helps with melanin in the skin and sun and that type of thing. Because this sun we have now, we can't believe we now walk in the sun like Mario. If you want some cancer, you could get it to them. So you need to be very careful. So Trinidad and Tobago, I'm just saying that to say that you have to understand what nutrition is. Read After God is Google, after Google is YouTube. Don't only mind people business. Go on the internet and read. If it is, you're sick, you have diabetes, understand what it is you have. You have high blood pressure. I've given numerous programs on high blood pressure. There's a particular product that we have to get. There's a tea. We're going to be getting that again some next month as that research is finished. But it helps with blood pressure. Because once you have elevated blood pressure, you are going to end up a kidney patient. Now, people don't like when you tell them that. I told them some years ago, people used to talk about diabetes, because my specialization is primarily diabetes, endocrine, that type of thing. But I cover a wide spectrum, whether it's musculoskeletal. I tell people I can help anybody. The only people I cannot help is dead people and hardened people. You're dead, you can't come by me. Go by the other people and them who just deal with the dead. And if you don't listen, well, worse yet, you're dead to me. So don't even bother to come. But we have to understand that we need to take better care of ourselves and understand that everything that they call food is not food. You need to make a concerted effort. If it means you need to get a bucket and fill it up with some dirt and plant provision, well, then do that. Do what you have to do. It's for your survival, you know. At the end of the day, come up with a solution. There are always solutions. Now, people might say you could sit down and say that, but you have to understand this is your health you're talking about. I've had people who came to me on dialysis machines. I deal with a lot of pre-dialysis people. I like that. When I get dialysis, pre-dialysis, bad kidney, I feel like I'm working. Because now I have a challenge. You give me diabetics and arthritis, it's walk in the park. I deal with that years now. But kidney, if it is your creatinine high, your bond is high, your EGFR, which is your glomerular filtration rate, which is going to tell you the level at which your kidney at. So 5, we know you don't want to be 5, you don't want to be 4. You always want to be up. You want to be 3, 3B, 3A, 2. If you can be in 1 and 2 all the time, well, oh God, you're nice there. Because the glomerular filtration rate shows the rate at which your kidney does filtering or filtrating. So there are certain things, which is why they know your kidney is giving problem when your creatinine and your bond high. Because your kidney is supposed to be filtering that out. But if it comes in the urine, then it means, not sorry, in the urine, if it's in the blood, because they check two. Well, they usually check a lot of creatinine. They check blood creatinine, they check urine creatinine as well. And then there's a next one that they usually check. But my point is, once your numbers are higher than they're supposed to, it is an indication that your kidney is beginning to malfunction. The kidney is not dead. No, I always say this and I'll repeat it again. There is no organ in the human body that could be inside of there and the organ is dead and you are alive. If that organ is dead, the organ can't be dead. It's still getting blood flow, it's getting oxygen. It might be getting limited blood flow. It might be getting limited oxygen, which means the organ is not fully functional. It's not functioning at its full capacity. However, it is functioning. So what we need to do now to get that organ moving, the curse word, exercise. You know, that's a word plenty people don't like it. Exercise. The biggest 4-letter word in the world is exercise. People have a new thing now. Doc, what I could take without exercising? No, wrong doctor, wrong place. I ain't even selling you anything. Just because you come in to ask me that, I ain't even going to sell you anything. Tell them people who work with me, hey, don't sell them anything. Because how you could want to lose weight and not move? What happened to you? You're crippled? You're old? Move. Get a sneakers. Get a skipping rope. Do some little push-ups, some little sit-ups. Because let me tell you something. A big belly. 2 things don't match with anything, you know. You have on a nice outfit. Imagine ladies, you dress up to go a little function. You have on a nice dress. Nothing to spoil a woman more than a big belly. You're not pregnant. If you're pregnant, it's all well and good. Yeah. A maternity clothes for that. And the same men it helps to prevent. You know, the old people ever say, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. All right, so I'm going to send you over to these two gentlemen here in studio. We're going to make sure and organize your business. And we're going to take some calls. We're going to take some WhatsApp. So you could just remind them of the information. Yeah, I think so.
All right. And of course, the number to call is, you have the numbers. Well, those of you who know the numbers, you know the numbers. In case you don't know and you're listening for the first time, the numbers to call 624-7729 or 625-2759. You can also get us via WhatsApp at 333-9950. We already have some WhatsApps coming in so far. Someone is asking what causes fat in the intestines and can it be cured without surgery?
Okay, what causes fat in the intestines? All right. Okay, so I don't know if the person would have done a CT scan, or MRI, or X-ray. Usually, if it is you're talking about fat, you have two types of fat in the body primarily. You have what is known as visceral fat, VISCERAL, and visceral fat is the most dangerous fat in the body. That's the fat that you don't want. Your visceral fat levels supposed to be under 5, I believe it's under 5%. And then you have what is known as subcutaneous fat, which is fat just below. That's a different type of fat. Now, keep in mind, our body uses fat for energy. In some instances, your body could actually burn fat. And the body can utilize that, as energy. So that individual who's asking that question, if it's visceral fat you're looking at, organ fat, you might have a big stomach, you're not comfortable with it. As regards to what we carry at Batson and Associates, I would say, first of all, water. I always tell you guys, water, 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 water. So even if you're looking to lose weight, the first things you need to do is increase your hydration. Now, that's actually going to help you lose weight. It also is a very good thing to consume warm or hot water. When I say, well, you know what? Hot enough not to burn your mouth. So warm water. So the water that you have to drink throughout the day, if in that instance, you could have like maybe 4 of those glasses as warm, that's also going to help you lose weight. Cold water helps the body, is not a good thing if you're looking at weight loss. Cold water does a number of things to the body internally. If you're looking at losing weight, you want to maintain a flat stomach, ladies, you want to get rid of these things like this cellulite and that type of thing. More, if you're supposed to drink 8 glasses of water, out of those 8 glasses, let 4 of them be hot enough, like tea. Good? That's 1. 2, a cleanse. So we're looking at 7-channel detox. I, of course, would be an advocate of Santulan. The reason why we got that product is because I wasn't satisfied with a lot of the cleansers, and I don't like cleansers that have a lot of capsules and tablets. I prefer to give people liquid cleansers. So Santulan is a 7-channel detox. Santulan detox kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, a lot of people don't understand that your liver is the organ that helps with the most amount of weight loss. Your liver as well as your gastrointestinal system. So that would cover the teas that we have. We have gastro tea, we have liver tea. And what you also need to do in terms of how you eat. Now, what a lot of people don't understand, if you want to lose weight, you should have more small meals as opposed to less meals. One of the biggest mistakes people make, even diabetics as well. So if you're a diabetic, you're not supposed to be having 1 meal for the day. Your diabetes will never get better. You will always be in trouble. You have to ensure that you have smaller meals. And what we need to do too is plate your food. In the Caribbean, we don't plate our food, right? You only plate food when you're buying. If someone have to buy that food or else cooking, or wouldn't be so gluttonous, you know? Yeah, plate the food. So we know today is Sunday. Plate your food. And lessen down on the carbohydrates, the complex carbohydrates. Too much pasta, potato. Potato is something, unless you're a bodybuilder, you're not supposed to be using potato. That white potato. Unless you're a bodybuilder or athlete, leave potato alone. That white potato. We're not talking about sweet potato. Go ahead.
I have a caller on the line. Caller, thank you so much for holding. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, ma'am.
My granddaughter, she's 21 years old.
Right.
Of late, it's been happening for a couple months now. When she showers, she gets this itch over her entire body.
Right.
I used chamomile lotion and all of the other things, but to no avail. Whenever she showers, she gets this itch. What can she do for that?
So tell me something, wait, quickly. No, wait, don't go as yet, Quickly, tell me something. Is it that the water, what type of water it is you'll use? You'll have a filter attached to the tap or something? Or it's just...
We don't have a filter, normal tap water.
Okay, and this problem started recently, or this is something that has been bothering her a while now?
That has been bothering her for a couple months now.
And she hasn't changed her soap, she hasn't changed fabric softener, she hasn't changed detergent or anything like that?
We did all that. And
all
still,
of that, and still?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, you can listen off here, and I think I figure out what it is then.
All right, thank you.
Good, you're welcome. All right, so let me answer this question general. So for anyone who may have those issues, as the lovely lady mentioned, she said they would have done certain things. So usually, if you're developing any new skin conditions that you didn't have before, like maybe itching, especially after showering, or like drying your skin and that type of thing, it's always better to look for what could be the most likely suspects, which would be water, or chemicals in water, fabric softener and detergent, because that is going to stay in your clothes, and sometimes some people may have allergic reactions to those. One of the things you could also look at as well is home-wise, if you have air conditions, and a lot of people have air condition units now, maybe you might have to look at when those air conditions have been serviced, right? You might need to check that. Things like your pillows, your pillowcases, that type. So once you check all of those things, and it's not that, the next thing is pets. So look at pets, cats, dogs. Remember the pets, some people have the pets inside, some pets are outside. Remember, people play with pets, they touch them, and things travel, it goes all over the place, right? Now, if it's not that, then we need to look internally. So internally, whenever you have problems with your skin, usually 99.9% of the time, the two culprits are your liver and your intestines, right? So your gastrointestinal system controls what? Your immunity. So 70% of your immune system lies in your gut. But your liver is the organ that gives the response of allergies. So most of the time when you're allergic, you're not allergic, is the liver picks it up and classifies it as poisonous or toxic, and the body gives you a response. And that is why you have things like where they tell you your histamine, which we know is a chemical that deals with. So a lot of people, those levels may be elevated, but the reason why it is elevated is because the body is out of balance. So what I would recommend for that young lady, 21 years, I don't know how water regime and that type of thing, she should check the water, how much water she drinks. Then we could actually do, there's a product we carry called Optimizer, which is a free radical scavenger. And we also carry a product called inflammation formula. Excuse me. That product actually helps to reduce inflammatory response in the body. So it is something that, you could look at. And I think when we deal with it gradually, they should not have a problem where that is concerned. All right?
All right. I think we had another one here. This person says, I have fungus on my toenail for years. I've used several medications, but it didn't work, and the fungus is now spreading to my other toenails. Could it be something internal? And can women's formula assist in hormonal acne?
Yeah, definitely. Women's formula could assist in hormonal acne, because just that, acne caused by hormonal imbalance. As regards to the toenail situation, definitely. The problem with pathogens when they get into your nails. So the thing is, there's something, your skin, or the system in your body known as your integumentary system, which is a big term for your skin and its appendages. So your appendages would be your fingernails, your toenails, hair, mustache, beard, that type of thing. Those are appendages, right? And then you have things like your ligaments, tendons, whatever the case may be. When you have fungus in your toes, now your fingernails usually tell you a lot about your health, right? And I had covered this some programs ago. When you see like white lines in your fingernails, like going across, that's usually an indication of mineral deficiency, magnesium, calcium. However, do not be very careful. The magnesium and calcium supplements are not all the same, because you have to understand there is something vital where supplementation is concerned. And that is what? Assimilation or digestion. So a lot of times you don't want to take something and the body does not absorb it, because it means you're spilling it up in mud. So back to the question as regards to the fungus. Fungus in your toes usually indicate gastrointestinal imbalance. it also indicates liver imbalance. You'd realize the two fellas who come up often here is gastrointestinal and liver, right? Them is the trouble. Out of the set, you have 7 channels of elimination: kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. The 2 most known culprits, the usual suspects: liver, gastrointestinal system. And that's where Batson Associate comes in, because we're going to fix your intestines. And to fix your intestines takes some work. But the thing is, a lot of people have early intestinal problems. So when you're seeing fungus on your toes, and especially if that fungus has been there for years and it's not going on, and then it's playing jump over now, so it's going over to the next one, yeah, it means that you're in some problems there. And next thing to look at, your scalp. Your scalp is a serious indication of your health. So if you usually, okay, so some people would get dandruff, but not everybody dandruff does be white dandruff, you know. It have black dandruff too, you know. Yeah. And then sometimes people call it dry scalp, but that is not dry scalp. And when you have dandruff, or you see like flakes in your scalp, gastrointestinal problem, liver problem. And it has to do with hydration. But remember, water. The rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So if you know you wasn't doing that all the time, before you start to use anything, I don't know if you all remember the lovely lady who had called me some weeks ago, and she was talking about something that she made with aloes and something, and she was a hypertensive, right? And then she was asking about, right, one of the things I told her, and you know, that she called back a program subsequent, I think it wasn't this week, that was last week program when you were on with me the first time, sir.
That's right.
Right, and you notice she said, Dr. Batson, the pressure going down, and I did what it is it told me to do. You see, the thing is, you have to understand, when toxins ready to leave your body, or when you're trying to get toxins to leave, you have to get these fellas out in an orderly manner. You know? Imagine we're in the National Stadium, or we're in one of those big stadiums, Chelsea, or one of them big stadiums, in thousands of people, and everybody trying to pass through a normal sized door, and everybody want to pass the same time. What's going to happen? People are going to get trampled. That's chaos.
Like chaos.
The body is the same thing. You cannot, people who don't understand what detoxification is will talk nonsense. Detoxification is one of the most fundamental keys to good health. So much so that even now Western doctors embracing this detoxifying thing, you know. So if you go into a doctor now and you say, Doc, I want to take a clean out or a detox, how many doctors honestly going to tell you yes? Trinidad and Tobago, listeners of Sky 99.5, very few. But what they're supposed to say, as I started at the genesis of my conversation, I do not know. I do not know. What they're supposed to say, hey, go and check it out. A man Rasta, man, this be on the radio making us that noise. Go and check it. Go and check. I think his name is Batson or something. Go and check it. You know about them things. But don't say no. Because I'm telling you, your body speaks to you a lot of the times you do not listen. Ladies, you're spending money for your hair. I didn't know. I tell somebody, I said, but I should better open my hairdressing salon or something. I didn't know hairdressing has so much money. Here, I didn't know he has so much money in it. All that money that woman is spending on the hair, buddy. So you're spending money, you're putting in, some is your own, some are doing keratin treatment and all this kind of thing because your hair thinning. Ladies and gentlemen, your hair will continue to thin if your internal, if that gastrointestinal, that liver, if them fellas not working good, you're not paying them fellas overtime, they're not coming to work, they're going to strike on you. And that is where you're going to see. So look at yourself, and I've said this on numerous occasions. Do the mirror test. Watch from the scalp. Watch from your scalp. If you find your scalp looking dry, your hair always dry, you put in a sort of oil and conditioner, but your hair always dry. Trinidad and Tobago, that is not your hair. That is inside. Odor. So some people, all of us is big people, you might be taking you go, you take a little run or something, and you smell on their arm and you can knock out everybody in the house. No. That's a serious thing. So, and that is not outside. That is where? Inside.
Inside.
Talking about mouth or oral health, let me tell you something. You see your mouth? Your mouth will kill you. Yeah, you watch me, your mouth will kill you fast. You know? I'll tell you why. Pathogens, the mouth, your mouth is one of the nastiest parts of your body, right? If it is, you didn't know that, you know that now. Right? The most amount of no serious, I mean, and there's not being thing. So yeah, be careful with your kiss.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a serious thing. Your mouth.
Yeah.
Your mouth is one of the nastiest parts of the human body. Why? Temperature. That is why the pH of saliva or your mouth is supposed to be what? Acidic. Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're supposed to brush your teeth, you're supposed to go to the dentist, do your little flossing and that kind of thing. So the thing is, when pathogens lay root in your mouth, because you don't want an infection in your gum, no? Because any infection that you get in your mouth goes where? In your bloodstream. Remember, everything connected, no? Everything is connected. So if it is you're having a situation with your mouth, you're getting a little odor or that kind of thing, the possibility is this could be a little straight teeth or something, one check in, you might have a wisdom teeth that might be impacted and you don't know or something like that. But we're talking about you getting an odor and you know that is not your mouth, that's coming from down inside of your belly. What that mean? Cleanse, detox. And a lot of people will say, hey, but I use the cleanse and detox and it didn't work. No. Don't go and bat up the people product. Now, I don't know where you're using. But I know if you use Santulan, you can come and tell me that. And if you use it, I'll say, how much you use?
And use it properly.
And use it properly. And you can't come and hit me no 1 pack of Santulan. You know you're getting a scent from your mouth about 6 months now and you want to hit me 1 pack of Santulan. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you really doing? Eh? And the thing is, we all big people, you have a second half, you might have a half that you want to be a half or something. You want to go, you're not talking to people and your mouth is smelling proper. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that is what again? Internal. You have Lota. I know somebody said, Dr. Batson, I Lota 50 years now. I say, well, you die in 50 years now. You're lucky you make to 50. 50 years you are Lota. What you doing with Lota for 50 years? And he boasting like that is something. And much but the Lota, that is not normal Lota, you know. You have different kind of Lota, yeah? You have the nice little, yeah, and then you have Lota where it look like if it's crapo, you know, like the rough skin Lota. No. Yeah, no, all the talk we talking and you know, here in the laugh and thing. We serious earlier. We are not laughing at anybody, we're not facetious or anything. But there's big people business too. Some of you ladies and them, you know, you're nice, you know, thing, and the man smell you here and is no. And watch me, that is not the hair. We're talking about internal, because some people, like me, I sweat in my scalp. So I'm very good. I have to wash my hair often and them kind of thing. But cleansing and detoxifying is fundamental. So let me tell you something. If you never try Alkagen water, give us a call. If you never try Santulan, you know, Christmas coming up. So I tell all you have all this Santulan. Listen to me. Santulan is your secret weapon. I have little 1 or 2 function. Well, now COVID gone, so all you know it have function go now. So all it has some always get invited to everything and all you don't know how to say no. So if you know is one of them, make sure and have your Santulan in your fridge. So when you know you go to people dinner and you eat ham, lamb, jam, bam, everybody, and you know there's a pressure case or a sugar case, you know you have your Santulan the next day to drink or weekend so that your blood pressure don't reach up high for you to go inside of the people hospital and quarrel and say that they do not have a bed. The hospital is not a hotel. That is always tell you that. The hospital is for emergency. You're pregnant, you're ready to give birth. That's what the hospital for. Accident and emergency. Because if you go to the accident and emergency with sugar, high blood sugar, and the sugar gone now after, you're trespassing. You're not supposed to be there. You do not have an accident, nor do you have an emergency. You're trespassing. So it means you need to maintain what you need to maintain. So again, those telephone numbers for the Shogunas office. Keep in mind, we have our pensioner special that we are doing till the end of the year. Most likely, in all honesty, guys, I would most likely do that next year too, because I mean, that was something that we wanted to do for the pensioners to keep them. Because we had a lot of people who wanted to come to us, but you know, they say, hey, you know, Dr. Batson is a pensioner, whatever the case may be. So you have to ensure you respect the elderly, right? So we put together a package, and that is something that we run until the end of the year, into next year, God's willing. So you can take advantage of that. As I say, I know the end of the year coming up, all you have all the things to see about, but remember, you need to see about you, because you don't want the pressure to go up. You don't want the times that the hospital are the most filled in Trinidad and Tobago is during when? Christmas and Carnival.
Christmas, that's very
Christmas,
true.
Carnival, after Carnival. Yeah, because people eating, you are diabetic. You know you're taking the people medication, you have a little diabetes, you go a little lime, nobody, you say no, portion, plate your food. You take out 1 pastel, you take some salad, make sure they must have, wherever you're going, they have to have salad. You need to take some salad. So you take your little salad, you take your pastel, you take a piece of black cake, and you go your merry way, and you say, eat, thank God. But don't go and eat 6 pastel, 3 pieces of black cake, you drink punch of cream, you drink thing, and you know, and then, oh God, me should I 500. You don't expect it to be 500. Come on, man. Come on, man. And fellas, gentlemen especially, you know, you're going to a little dinner and thing, you know your blood pressure, you just suffer from pressure. Let me tell you something. Alcohol and blood pressure do not get along, right? It doesn't get along with diabetes either, but the worst is with hypertension. So if you know you're going to take a little drink, please, Trinidad and Tobago, take a half of the drink or 1 drink and tell them fellas, hey, I just go by Batson, boy. Then they go run. Go from here. Go.
We have another call on the line.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, sir.
I'm going to ask you a question. What can I take for a sickness that they diagnosed me with in the U.S.? Vertigo or vertigo? I'm losing my balance.
Oh, okay. Vertigo. Okay. All right, good. No problem, sir. You can listen to me off air. All right. So when we're talking about vertigo now, we're talking about balance. So people who experience or who suffer from vertigo, the first thing they usually check is your air. Because if you have an air infection or you have some situation with your air, your balance is going to be thrown off, because that's actually one of the main purpose of your ears. So some of you, you know, you might have ears like me that look like you do have ears, because I decided to look for mine, and then some of you have a biggish ears, but your ears is for balance, right? So the thing is, if you have vertigo, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, your problem is lack of blood flow to your brain. There are 2 types of circulation in the body. Primarily, you have pulmonary circulation, which is above your heart, and you have systemic circulation, which is below your heart. So there is something known as pulmonary imbalance, or what is known as poor pulmonary circulation. So people with vertigo usually have poor pulmonary circulation, which means you're not getting sufficient blood and oxygen to your brain. And as a result of that, you are actually getting dizzy. Other symptoms of poor blood circulation to the brain, apart from dizziness, would be loss of memory, problems with your eyes, you start to see blurred, or you find you're seeing like halos, or you're seeing like flashes of light passing across your eye. Long-term, well, not long-term, short-term memory, like where you put on keys, where you went in the refrigerator for that type of thing. When you start to disassociate things now, where you put in what's supposed to be in the fridge, in the cupboard, and what's in the cupboard in the fridge, well, that works now. That means you're starting to get early signs of what is known as vascular dementia. And vascular dementia is poor circulation in the brain as well. But the poor circulation has become so advanced that you're now experiencing, or it is affecting part of the brain where you are now said to have dementia, where you cannot tell place and time, you cannot give specific recognition to faces, that type of thing. But people who start with early signs of dementia and those type of things, usually you get those things slightly in the beginning, and of course, the situation is exacerbated if it is not dealt with properly. So, sir, what I would advise you to do, there is a product that we have called Optimizer. Optimizer was actually designed for that. Nerve Restore as well. There's also one we have called Cerebral. But keep in mind, again, the first agenda, or the first thing on the agenda, is your water intake. Very, very important. And then we can deal with that. Let me say a pleasant good day to Eric Alain, who is in New York and asking, where can I get Santulan to buy? You can actually just give us a call or message us on 868-314, that's 314-9975. So anyone who wants information as regards to getting those products, you just get us on that WhatsApp number, 314-9975. And if it's overseas, you just put 868 there. Okay?
All right. Well, we lost that call. Someone was calling on WhatsApp. We have several WhatsApp messages coming in.
Okay, so let's go.
Arthur, you can help us with some of those. Just scroll on a bit, and then from the one with the red flowers or something like that, I think there was another one. Go down a little bit. Yeah, that one there.
All right, we have someone here that's saying, all right, I think we're getting WhatsApp call again. All right.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Hi, Dr. Batson. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
My sister is 60 years old, and she she's menopausal is obviously, but she has never taken anything for her menopause.
Mhm.
What I'm concerned of, could that hinder or harm her health at any time? Because I find she's a bit hyper.
Mm-hmm.
She gets on a bit more nervous.
Right.
So I'm wondering if it's that.
If it's that, okay, good. No problem. You can listen. Most likely it's that, you know, and that's what I'm saying. You see, the thing is, our education system as regards to our health, and again, it's not trying to be political or anything like that, you know. We want it in the sense that I don't think nutrition is being taught in schools. I remember when I was going primary school, you know, that was a different time. You know, it had certain things that you were supposed to eat, you know, had certain things that, you know, so the education was different. I think that's one of the things that we have now, where people just living and they just don't know how to live. They don't know how to take care of themselves. And as I said, with women, most likely that is happening to her because women have to understand that hormones, especially now, because of a lot of the food that we eat, you have some imbalance in the hormones. So you always have to be sort of, because keep in mind, disease is imbalance, right? The purpose of the body is to do what? To maintain homeostasis. Basic biology, right? Homeostasis is what? Balance, equilibrium. So the thing is, when you are sick, whether it's diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular problems, thyroid problems, is either because you have too much of something or you have what? Too little. Cancer. A lot of people getting cancer now. They have proven, I think almost anyone who have ever dealt with cancer all had gastrointestinal problems, but they're not aware. So the thing is, you may be getting a bowel movement every day, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand. And somebody once told me, Dr. Batson, but I don't need to do a cleanse. I have a bowel movement every day. I said, so how many bowel movements do you have a day? And the person said, 1. I said, well, they done badly. I said, how much time for the day are you eating? They say 4. I said, so you're eating 4 times for the day, and you have 1 bowel movement. I say, you done constipated already. You just don't know. There is something known as fecal loading. Fecal. So people, all of us, the big people here, fecal comes from the word feces, right? So fecal loading, people have fecal loading in the intestines. When you see people walking around with big stomachs, and this is not to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. Listen to me, that's not fat alone you're carrying around, you know. That's not fat alone. Very soon at Batson Associates, one of the things we're going to start to do is colon hydrotherapy. God's willing, we should be starting that in February. Because we're going to set up Tobago is going to get, Shoguna's going to get, DB going to get. The only office that wouldn't have is St. James, because we don't have the space in St. James to do that. But the other offices will get it. And what colon hydrotherapy, I'm a big advocate of that in a sterilized environment, of course, right? Well-supervised environment. But what that does is that it helps to evacuate, build up waste in the body, you know? Because there are a lot of things that we do that we shouldn't do. We eat and drink simultaneously, one, which we're not supposed to do. When you all have a question in line, let me know, interrupt me. I don't want to keep the people waiting. Just interrupt me. So in a case like that, you have to now remove that from the system because you're going to end up with what is known as auto-intoxication. Auto is self. Intoxication is what? Poison. So some people, is this going on? That you always have headache. Let me tell you something. You see the headache people out there? I don't care what headache you're getting and how long you have a headache. I challenge you. You come to us and we're going to fix that headache for you. You just have to listen to what we do. There's somebody we dealt with recently. Headaches for 6 years. You know, in 6 years you get a headache? Well, I wouldn't have been able to function. It would have some, I don't know, some people wouldn't have been around because I would not have been a nice person to deal with. You can imagine a headache for 6 years, you get a headache? No. And when we were finished with that person, in 1 month, the headaches went. We have been dealing with them for a year, and the headaches never came back. There is always a reason why something is going wrong. Always remember that. Always remember that. The answer, a lot of the times, doesn't lie in the symptomology, you know. So diabetes is a symptomology. Weight gain. When you say you get problems to lose weight, most women who cannot lose weight, you're in the gym, you're running around the savannah, you're diligent, you're eating, but you're not losing weight. You know why? You have hormonal imbalance. It is 10 times harder for a woman to lose weight than a man. You know why? Hormonal imbalance. You all have hormones. You all have estrogen. Well, you all have a specific hormones in higher amount. Estrogen, progesterone, gonadotropin. And women have a tendency, because of that, it is easier for them to have problems with cortisol. Cortisol is what? the stress hormone. So once your cortisol levels high, listen to me, you will not have a good vital, which is why a lot of people who are falsely diagnosed as diabetic. That's our next thing. That's our next program I need to give, you know. Because that's someone will come into my office and tell me you're diabetic and you're not diabetic. So not because, so if you're stressed out, you lost a loved one, you went through a divorce, you COVID, we know the whole world now went through a whole pandemic. Do you know how much people stress out still? It does some people didn't leave their house yet, you know. Some people still home, you know, they're afraid to come out, you know, because that whole psychological, yeah. So we have a lot of stressed people, we have a lot of depressed people, we have a lot of people who, you know, things ain't really right with them. So we have to understand that and take it for what it is sorry, and work on it. And you have to understand, again, as I always tell persons, your health is your responsibility. And if we're talking about finance, yeah, we have a call.
No, we have someone on WhatsApp.
Okay,
they're asking, what is the benefits of quinoa, and also if too much chia seeds are harmful?
Okay, well, quinoa, we know that that has a lot of health benefits there. One, it will improve your bowel movement because quinoa absorbs about 10 times its weight in water. So what it does when it goes into the intestines, it swells. So it actually helps to clean the wall of the intestines. It is soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber reduces blood glucose levels, so it's going to help someone who's a diabetic. It also helps individuals as it relates to even with weight loss because there's a high percentage of protein. So, you know, it's a very good thing as it relates in terms of the complex carbohydrates in it. Chia seeds, no. You could use that on a daily basis. I use it every day. It's also very good to regulate blood sugar levels, very good for your gastrointestinal system. And you see, what we need to understand as well, too, is you are actually able to, because of seeds, remember seeds give life, eh? So seeds carry life force in them. And life force is what helps to rejuvenate the body. Oh, living food, living body, dead food, dead body. So you always want to have, and that's what I'm saying to people who are listening. I mean, yes, it's going to be a financial change for some of you all. But what you have to take in mind, you know, you have your rice. Nobody is saying because you mightn't be able to afford all quinoa, but mix it. So you have rice, and you could do half rice, half quinoa, or you do the whole thing together. You season up your pot properly, and you're good to go. So it's a very good thing. I advocate using it you cannot and that's the next thing a lot of people do not understand. You can't overuse chia seeds or chia seeds. You can't overuse olive oil. You know, within reason. I tell people a tablespoon of olive oil every day or every other day is a good thing to drink, especially if you have hypertension. It will help your circulation. It's very good for your skin. It's excellent for your hair. So, you know, it's a matter of do little things on a daily basis that are going to improve your situation where health is concerned. So you always want to add and not take away. Okay?
You have another message on WhatsApp. What will you recommend if the left heart ventricle is clogged and causing a lack of oxygen to the brain? Okay, so in a case like that individual going to have to use, well, they're going to have to bring some reports to me. So I'm going to have to see that echocardiogram. Most likely they would have done an angiogram, which would have given indication of blockages. And there are a number of things that we use to clear blocked arteries and to even clear blood vessels. Those usually fall in the category of what we call enzymes. Enzymes are very important to the human body. And what they actually do is actually break up and digest plaque and take it out of the system. So that's what you would want. But if you have a pre-existing cardiovascular situation, like things like angina, or you suffer from most likely elevated blood pressure, then we're going to have to do some adjustments in that. But definitely things like your nitric oxide, optimizer, I will go with. Circulation tea is a big sell, good product too, because what it actually does, it has persimmon leaves in it. And persimmon leaves is actually used by the Chinese a lot in Chinese medicine to actually help to clean the walls of the arteries, clean out the blood vessels so that you're actually able to get benefit. So even people who have things like varicose veins, spider veins, elevated blood pressure, you know, those things going to help them as well. Okay, fantastic. We have someone on the WhatsApp called. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead, we hear you.
Good morning. I want to know what number do I call to order something from products from overseas? I'm in Houston, Texas, I ordered some products November the 10th, and they told me that they would get back with me to give me the shipping fee and all that stuff.
Right.
Where to send the money, MoneyGram or whatever. And up to now,
you didn't get anyone. Okay, I apologize for that. You have a pen? The number you're taking is 314-9975, and our area code, which is 868. So 314-9975.
Okay.
Okay, and you forward that.
So what about that number you have with it? 2368 or something like that? What is that number?
That's 222-8261. Yeah, that's head office. That's Shoguna's number. So that number usually very, very busy. But if you send the WhatsApp with your information, they're gonna make sure and get back to you. I'll make sure of that.
Yeah, well, I did. I sent that information and I talked, and somebody called. Well, I think her name is Tasha. Or somebody texted me and told me they didn't have no products. So I don't know.
Okay, well, as I say, I'll okay, good. Yeah, I'm recognizing the voice. I don't understand what's really going on. I will clear up that for you. So you send it to the 314-9975, and I'm going to get it for you. Because tomorrow, please God, I will personally check that phone. All right?
Please do.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, we have one more message on WhatsApp. Good morning, Dr. Batson. I am 51 years old, female. I am doing studies and I have problems to fall asleep. I am a vegetarian, and lately I have been feeling depressed.
Okay. All right. Did they say I didn't get the gender? Sorry. Male or female? Female. Okay, good.
Female.
All right. And again, it could be based on what I was discussing as regards to the postmenopausal syndrome. You see, the thing is, your endocrine gland or your endocrine system controls your hormones. So endocrine is your gland. So thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenals. So those are primarily responsible for the production of hormones. Now, the way the body is supposed to operate, your hormones are supposed to be produced in particular amounts and varying situations depending on the circumstance, right? So when it's time to get your menstrual cycle, when it's time to, as regards to energy, those type of things. What happens to persons is that the endocrine system is out of balance. So because the endocrine system is out of balance, the hormonal system becomes out of balance. And as I said, with women, it is more difficult, especially women who have had children. If you had more than 2 children, well, then later on, you find sometimes it could be more problematic with you. Because remember, children take a lot out of you, right? Children take your minerals. Some women after pregnancy, they have no teeth. All kind of thing goes wrong with you. And a lot of them didn't even know during pregnancy that they should have supplemented. But a lot of doctors don't know that. When women pregnant, they're supposed to take vitamin D3. One of my clients in Tobago who had some great results, she gave me a testimony. You know, she was actually able to make a child successfully after years of trying in her 40s. And I remember in working with her, she actually was working with her regular practitioner. We worked together, basically. I told her, I said, let her know you're coming by. I gave her a list of all what I was giving her. And the doctor had called me and asked. She said, I see she's using some things here, which I don't really have any issue with. But she asked about the vitamin D3. Why did I put it? I said, well, all pregnant women are supposed to take D3. So she said, why? I said, that ensures proper fetal development, but also proper development of the fetal in terms of the brain. And it keeps the mother from getting things like postpartum depression and that type of thing. We have a lot of women now that actually developing postpartum depression, which is depression after pregnancy. And a lot of these women, so when you read on the paper, somebody take the child and, you know, throw it and do this, that person is not mentally in a proper mental state of mind. And, you know, yeah, so that's a serious thing. So, and those are things we deal with as well. But as I said, women have to understand that you all have it a little harder when it comes to the realm of hormones. And that's just the way it is. Men now, we have a question? Let me know, eh?
Okay. We have another caller.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hi, go ahead.
Hi, morning. We hear you.
Yes, hello, morning. Hi, go ahead. We can hear you. Hello?
I think we must
All right, I think we
must be hearing us. Yeah.
Dr. Batson, you were saying that women have it a little bit harder.
Yeah, they have it a little more difficult because... Okay, she's there?
Yeah, let's see if you get it. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Ms. Hyacinth, if you could hear us, we can't hear you. Hello, good morning. All right, I think we're having some problems. All right,
Okay.
Dr. Batson, you go ahead. We do have another call on the line.
Okay,
normal
no
line,
problem.
yeah. Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Caller, could you lower down your radio, please? Thank you so much.
Yes. You're hearing me clearly now?
Yes, much better. Thank you so much.
Dr. Batson, I have a daughter that is in hospital right now. She's 47.
Mm-hmm.
She has a bleed every for the last 8 months.
She has a what, sorry?
Bleeding issue?
8 months now. Every 2 months is bleeding. The sex is bleeding.
Right.
And they have on steroids. And the doctors, when they are thinking now for her to do a surgery to remove the spleen, her spleen,
Mm-hmm.
that it was also her platelet
Very low.
is at 5. Could you say what we can do if we can visit you? But she's in the hospital. They said to her when the platelet reaches 50, they will discharge her.
When it reaches 50. So just a wait, before you go, let me get something quickly. So you said the reason she ended up in the hospital is that she has a problem with profuse bleeding. This during her menstrual cycle, correct?
No, just bleeding. They just start all in her legs and things. She in these black marks of the blood like it wants to come through.
Whoa.
This morning she called me, they took all the needles out of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started to bleed. The nurse and all get frightened, but it stopped.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sorry about that. Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
But it bleeds for a while and then it stops.
But is she on any medication?
Well, they gave her some steroids for the bleeding to stop. And also for the platelet to go up, but the platelet is not going up.
Okay, but that sounds like an autoimmune condition. She has some sort of so prior to her ending up in the hospital, there was no diagnosis, there was no blood test, there was no scans done, nothing like that. No bone marrow scan, nothing like that.
When it first started, she went to the hospital.
Right.
And they gave her they started to give her the steroids.
Right.
And she stayed in the hospital. So the platelet had reached it was a miracle because when she went to the hospital, Dr. Batson, the platelet was at 1.
Whoa. But and how old you said she is?
47.
Okay.
But I would need to come in and see you.
Yeah.
When she comes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that sounds like some sort of thalassemia trait. You see, the thing is, you have a lot of blood disorders out there, but I mean, those things sort of fixable, but they have a lot to do with like the musculoskeletal system and that type of thing. So there's something that's some sort of autoimmune condition, and it has to do.
They would have to remove her spleen.
No. I mean, if it reaches a point where it is utter dire emergency, then they could remove organs. But from where I sit, I believe I could deal with that, man. I had people in worse situations than that. I already come up with a diagnosis in my mind already, just based on what it is you tell me. I just need to see certain things to dot the I's and cross the T's. But I'm sure I could help with that, man. But of course, she's going to have to look at her diet, because, I don't know how she eats and drinks and that type of thing. But that's something that we're going to have to... Sorry?
Yes, I'm listening.
Oh, I said that's something we're going to have to take into consideration. But I strongly believe I could help her. And I wouldn't advise, I mean, at the end of the day, she's in the hospital and that kind of thing. But I mean, you don't remove our organs just like that. I mean, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I am.
So, as soon as she gets discharged,
yes,
we are going to connect with you because I know you, but you don't know me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
Okay. Great.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the day.
We have another call on the line on WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning. Suzanne, can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Oh, she hung up. Yeah.
All right, we have another call coming in, another direct call. Let's Hyacinth again. Let's see if we connect. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
I'm Brother Lyndon, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm not hearing you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We're hearing you. We're hearing you.
Let me hear. I hear you radio, but I'm not hearing you over the phone.
All right, go ahead. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, you are hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Brother Batson,
Yes.
I had cataract surgery done, I think in June, right? After 3 weeks, I find my, the eyes, the left eye I did, I was seeing stars, like anything I look at the street lights, I look at the cars, lights, and I'm seeing flashes, I'm seeing things like Christmas tree, lights dancing. So I went back to the hospital, to the clinic, and I told them what I was seeing. And they told me that the alignment of the eye shift, so they have to do it over again. So I went after 2 months, I think. I did it over again, but it did not help. I'm still seeing it. Anytime I see any light, I'm seeing this dazzle all over. So I want to know what causing it.
But tell me something. So you did cut.
Let me hear why I'm seeing that dazzling light. If I look at the light in my left eyes, I'm seeing just dazzle, just a Christmas tree.
Okay, good. But clarify something for me. So the surgery that you did on your eye was lens replacement. You did a surgery for cataract, correct?
Yes.
And which eye was it? The left eye?
The left eyes. Yes.
And do you have any
And I did one again in September.
Right, I understand that. Yeah. But do you have any pre-existing conditions? Any diabetes, hypertension, anything like that? Cardiovascular, on any medication, anything like that?
My blood pressure varies. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high. It varies.
But you're not on any medication for it?
I'm on inanimate.
Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, so you can listen off the air. All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm good.
You too as well. Okay. So the thing is, when you're looking at, remember with cataracts now, years ago, they used to remove cataracts. So the doctor would come, because cataract is basically mineral buildup on the lens of your eye, right? So once that lens gets mineral buildup on it, the lens becomes opaque, right? So you don't really see clearly. So some years ago, they used to clean the cataracts where they would actually take off the layer of buildup and just leave the lens. They don't do that again now. Now they do something known as lens replacement. So they take out your entire lens and they replace it with an artificial lens. Now, you all know where I stand with dig up and chuck up and yeah. So my thing is, you don't want to go in me, you don't want to cut nothing on me, I don't have a problem with that, brother, man. So the thing is, sometimes things happen. I mean, you remember, this is a human being going in here. I'm not saying that the doctor didn't do the surgery properly. Understand what I'm saying? But remember, with any sort of cutting or any removing of anything, nerves could get a little damage, things could happen. So my suggestion is this. If you went and do the surgery to correct it and you're still getting the problem, what I would suggest you do, the best advice I could give, let us see if we could do some correction as regards to helping the body heal faster, because it could be a healing situation where the eyes have not healed properly yet. And there are a number of, that's why I ask if you had any pre-existing conditions, because some conditions and some certain types of medication could actually cause your body to heal slower than it's supposed to, right? So what I would suggest you do is get onto the office, give us some more information, and then we'll be able to tailor something for you where I could say, okay, do this, diet-wise change this, let's give you some stuff for the eyes, let's help the body heal faster than normal, and let's see what we get. And I think in a case like that, because based on what you're describing, it doesn't sound like a damaged nerve or something like that. It just sounds like maybe the eye hasn't healed properly, and as a result of that, the vision has not restored to the fullest or to its fullest in that circumstance. All right, so I suggest you contact us. Right.
We have a WhatsApp caller on the line.
Yes.
Caller, good morning. Hello, caller, good morning. Okay, we're not getting that caller. I'm not sure why. Next caller, good morning.
Good morning. I would like to speak to the doctor.
Yes, hi, good day.
I'd like to know if garlic will increase the blood pressure, if it have any problem with the blood pressure.
If garlic would increase your blood pressure? That's the question?
Blood pressure.
All right. I didn't hear the last part, guys. I don't know if you all heard better than me.
He was asking if garlic would increase blood pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, garlic wouldn't increase your pressure. Garlic is actually supposed to bring down your blood pressure, right? But is it that you have a serious hypertension problem?
No, I don't have that.
Okay, cool.
At all.
At all. Okay. Well, yeah, the thing is, garlic would normally help with pressure. Garlic is something I use a lot of. Not too much, but I use it a lot because it's the one of the most potent things in garlic is antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral. So it's something if you're doing a little blends and thing, you throw 2 grains of garlic in it and you use it. That's the best advice I can give there. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and use it, man. Just don't use no 5 and 6 grain and a little 1 grain, 2 grain, and you should be all right. Put it in.
That's it.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I think the roosters could use a little garlic as well. It sounds a bit dry.
Yeah, definitely. So let me say a pleasant good morning to Ms. Grace Warner Headley. She says good morning to you. Dr. Batson, can bleeding be the cause of uterine cancer? Yeah, there are some women, that's actually a very good point. Let me just run on this quickly. There are some instances where women, if you start to bleed at an older age sometime, it could be an indication, but a lot of times, keep in mind, if you start doing cleanses, like you may, especially when you change your diet, and let's say you may juice things like celery, cucumber, you do things like carrots and those type of things, you might go on use more vegetables and that type of thing. That's actually a way of cleaning your body. So you find women may pass menopause and start to do cleansers, and then they actually see that they pass blood. That is not anything to be worried about, but it is simply your body cleansing itself. And in some instances, when you start to cleanse, there may have been things there that needed to be let out. And then it just basically comes out the system. All right?
All right, we have another WhatsApp call. Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning.
Well, I'm not hearing anything.
Hi, Susan, but we can hear you, so you can go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, are you hearing me? Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
We are hearing you loud and clear.
Maybe she needs to take off the radio.
Good morning, Dr. Batson. Morning, Lyndon.
Good morning to you.
Dr. Batson is your favorite girl, Susan.
How you doing, Susan?
Dr. Batson, I have a problem, or problems, I should say. One, I was hospitalized because they said my potassium level was low.
Right.
It was undetectable. They couldn't even find a level, a number. Right? So they kept me, put drips on me and whatever, and tried to bring it up to 3.1. Right? So I don't even know if it's still there. If it's gone down again, I don't know. I don't know what the signs are, what I look for, to know if I'm maintaining.
But tell me something though.
Secondly, Dr. B, well, you know about the situation about my eyes, my left eye. All right? But now they're telling me in the right eye, I have cataract and what do you call the lens? Lens. What is it? My lens is off. It's moved or whatever. The retina. Detached retina.
Detached retina. Whoa.
Right. But in the left eye, there is still silicone oil that the doctor put in there. How many years?
And that's why I don't understand how.
The back of the left eye looks like some farmer went and harvested for cassava. It's really bruised up in the back of the eye. Dr. B, I am not going to let them touch this eye. So I need to know, what do you have to fix this problem? I cannot walk in darkness. I am scared for these people to go touch my right eye.
But
I'm going to talk about surgery again.
Okay, no, but answer me this. Just
by
now,
the grace of God, I stopped cursing. I don't curse anymore. And I don't want to start again.
Exactly.
So Dr. Batson, please help your friend.
Okay, but
I am not going for them to put any to do surgery on my eyes.
Okay, but listen to this.
Anything that can help me with this cataract on the right eye and this detached retina.
Okay, good. But before you go, listen to me. Hear me.
Please help it girl.
Yeah, but listen to me.
With the potassium,
she not hearing me.
Can I do? Do you have anything I can use? Any teas I can drink to maintain? Or I don't know what to do with this potassium level on mine.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna listen to you off here.
No, wait. You can't listen now. Yeah, listen before you go.
Just now, Susan.
That's it.
Just now.
Listen, my darling. Yes. Here is Susan. So my question.
I'm barely hearing you.
You hear me now? Hello?
You hearing him now?
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
We're here.
You hearing me?
Did you ask me a question, Dr. Batson?
Yeah. So here the question I'm asking. Are you currently using medication for hypertension? That's the question I'm asking you.
When then relay the message because I'm not hearing Dr. Batson.
He's asking if you're using any medication for hypertension.
Lord Jesus, look over this phone, boy. Phone don't be betrayed to the window now, man. I'm not hearing anything.
All right, listen to us off the air, I guess, and if you can type the message,
yeah, type it on WhatsApp first or something. Yeah.
Type your responses on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And
okay.
But listen, he'll be asking questions.
You guys did not hear what I asked?
No,
you guys didn't hear what I said?
No, we heard you.
But he's not, you're not hearing him. You're not hearing us clearly. So he has some questions to ask.
All right, okay, let me send a voice message and see if that's gonna help.
All right.
Okay, Susan,
yeah?
Could you hear me clearly, Susan?
Excuse me.
Hello, Susan?
Yes?
Yes, could you hear me clearly? Yes.
I could barely hear you. You come across very softly.
Let me ask you one question. The doctor was asking if you're taking any medication for hypertension.
Oh, Dr. Batson, I think I heard this is something about medication, my dear. I didn't hear that first.
Yes, if you're taking any medication.
This cataract affecting my hearing too.
All right, let's we'll do it off air, Susan.
Yeah,
we'll do it off.
All right. So let me. I will give an answer that is as generic as possible, as I always try to do, so at least the listeners would hear, basically. So the thing is, I am not fully aware what was done to her eye. I mean, the thing is, normally when they do, there's a procedure that they do where they actually put silicone, but the silicone is not supposed to stay there. It's supposed to stay for a certain period of time, and then the doctors usually take it out. I know in some instances that may not be done at the time for whatever reason, whether the doctor is not there or maybe financial reason for you to go back or whatever the case may be. But it usually is supposed to be taken out so that the person's vision is supposed to improve over a period of time. If that has not been done, I don't believe that is proper protocol, and you're going to have to make your investigations where that is concerned with who you dealt with. What I could say, though, as regards to things like detached retina, cataract, retinal detachment, or persons who may have done surgery and the surgery was not successful, because you have to take into consideration to put yourself over to the side of the doctors as well, because remember, doctors most of the time try their best to be as helpful as possible to individuals, you know. I don't believe all doctors are like with everybody and in every profession, you have very earnest people who work hard, and then you have the ones who, you know, involved in nonsense. So you have to know who you're dealing with. But with that being said, at Batson & Associates, we carry a wide variety of products that aid and help with problems with eyes. Eye Optics Formula being primarily one of them, which is basically an eye tonic that is designed to clean and detoxify the eye. So why I was asking if you had any problems with hypertension is that if you take hypertension medication, sometimes it can actually interfere with your potassium levels, right? Because keep in mind, sometimes some hypertension medication, especially they give you diuretics. Diuretics cause you to lose sodium, and water follows sodium, and it does interfere with potassium, magnesium, calcium levels in the body. So it could be as a result of the hypertension medication, right? But you could always let me know.
In terms of the question, if she's taking any medication, she messaged on WhatsApp, and she said no, she's not taking any medication.
She's not taking anything. Okay, well maybe well, I know she had a challenge before with coffee, and I know she had stopped it. I don't know if she had resumed anything, because I always tell people coffee is something, coffee behaves like a diuretic. It causes you to lose sodium, and water follows sodium, and that could cause mineral imbalance, including problems with potassium. So what I would suggest you do, Susan, you could give us a call at the office, and I'll be able to get your information, dot your I's, cross your T's, and of course be able to give you a proper recommendation based on the information that you would give me. All right?
All right, Dr.Batson, we have another phone call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Hi, could you lower the radio volume for a bit for me?
Yes, Hello?
Okay, great. You can go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
We're hearing you louder.
This is
My name is I'm calling to find out about the constipation. My daughter drinks a lot of water, but she still suffers from constipation. And I hear you were talking about stress and stuff, and I know she's stressed a lot. So I'm going to find out what we could be done.
for that situation. How old is the individual?
She's 40.
And you know how long this problem, how long she's experiencing this?
Years now, she is experiencing this constipation.
Whoa, okay. And you don't know if she ever did any scans, if she did any colonoscopies, any MRI, CT scans, anything like that?
No, I could find out.
You could find out. Well, normally what I would say, the first thing, and you know how much water she drinks? You know, that's the magic question.
A lot of water. That's how she drinks.
She drinks a lot of water. All right.
Oh, she drinks water.
Okay.
She's a very good with water.
Okay. Well, the thing is, a lot of persons who may have constipation issues, they may be hydrated or they may be drinking water, but the problem is the body is not utilizing the water. Because you see, what happens to a lot of persons sometimes is that they drink water, but the water just basically comes out of the system. They urinate a lot, that type of thing. So the colon is not getting hydrated. And usually when you're thirsty, what the body does, the body take water from the intestines first, right? So there is something in between there, but I believe I could give her some assistance. I mean, I don't know if she was on any medication before for anything, asthma or anything like that. Sometimes.
Yeah, she suffers with asthma.
Ah, right. So it means she's going to be using some sort of steroid. And usually those steroids, if it's in the tablet form or oral form, is going to be prednisolone. And if you have the pumps like Ventolin and those type of things. So usually when you use those things, that can contribute to constipation. So I'm just going to have to make an adjustment in terms of the diet and correct some level with the, she may have some problems with magnesium too as well. And once we correct that, then the bowel movement should come back to regular. All right, so you could always, if she could use, sorry?
Nerve Restore formula.
Yeah, she could use Nerve Restore. Nerve Restore is an easy use for anyone. What she can do, based on what you're telling me, once she doesn't have any problem with weakness or being anemic, she can use the Santulan, but she's going to have to use the Santulan together with the advanced chlorophyll. And I believe once she uses that, we put it together in a particular protocol time and to use it and whatever, she should get some very good results. We're going to try to work on the asthma as well, so at least she could lessen down the use of the steroids, whatever she's using, so that, she would benefit overall, from better health, that kind of thing.
Okay, so these things you are telling me about, I'm going to tell you who I am now.
Yes.
I'm Mrs. daughter. I was down at your with her. Right. I can get those things. You could probably let me get those things before I go back.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. All right, so you could make out a receipt or something, and
yeah, I'll make out
yeah. So when you send me stuff, you could send that to me and we pay for it.
Okay, good, no problem. Remind me which office you came to. That was St. James or Shogunas?
Shogunas.
Shogunas office. Okay. All right, good. No problem. I'll organize that for you.
I see that's right here. Hold on. Dr. Batson right here.
How are you, my dear?
I good.
Yeah.
Came down to spend some time with me, and the last time she was there, she buy eye drops and nose restore, and she said it did well for her.
Oh,
she would like to get
some more. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, because I called and ordered some eye drops.
Right.
And they said she have no nose restore.
Yeah, we get in nerve restore. We have nerve restore, God's willing. Tomorrow is what? Monday. We'll have Tuesday, please God. So you already cleared the offices will have on Tuesday, God's willing.
I put in my order.
No, you remember you is you know. So you on top of the list. So as that reach you first.
Yeah, I don't put in my order to Mr. Ramdan already.
Okay, good. No problem.
These things that you're telling her about there, can you tell Mr. Ramdan about them? Let she put them in the order for me, please.
Yeah, I'll send a message for her today.
Yes, and then she could send it up for me because she said as soon as she gets it, she will be sending it.
Okay, good. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Nalin. Take care of yourself. Nice hearing from you. Yes. Good. We have any more on WhatsApp there?
We have several WhatsApps.
Okay. remember you controlling the timers. So when it is my time is up, let me know.
We're going until 1:45, so we have a few more minutes.
All right.
Nice. All right. Well, someone actually has a recommendation on WhatsApp. And they are stating that the pawpaw leaf tea 3 times a day for about 4 days will actually raise platelets. What is your take on this, Dr. Batson?
I agree with that. What you just need to be careful, because that works, pawpaw leaf works. My concern as it relates to that particular client was why they're having this persistent like that. So the thing is, what the pawpaw leaf is going to do, the pawpaw leaf is going to give you some increase, but we need to go in depth where the bones are concerned to actually deal with, because in my experience, quickly, let me say something. When you look at people with hematology problems, so hematology is the study of blood. So people have things like thalassemia, sickle, various type of blood conditions. They all originate from the bones, because remember your red blood cells are produced where? In your bone marrow. So a lot of the times you need to deal with the foundation aspects of hematology. And next thing I will tell persons listening to, any person with any blood disorder, 98% of the time, they have a problem with green deficiency. They may not, as a child, they didn't have proper vegetables, and as a result of that, their body didn't synthesize iron properly growing up, and that contributes to a lot of blood problems. Because even if genetically, because remember, sickle is a genetic, well, it has some serious genetic predisposition, but people have to understand that nutrition changes genetics. Always remember that. You could be born from a family or what? Everybody big in that family. But if it is your diet, your lifestyle is one of change, your outcome wouldn't be the same outcome. Keep that in mind.
That's good.
Yeah. Next question.
I have another question on WhatsApp. Good morning, Dr. Batson. I've been working on acid reflux. Did my detox earlier this year. Drink my level water. Have been using inflammation formula, chlorophyll, and sulfur with mineral, and the digestive balance once daily, but still getting the effects.
Okay. What we could do, it may be a structural problem, or we may need to make some changes structurally. And when I say structurally, a lot of the times, if you have GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease, or sometimes bloating gas, it could be an alignment issue where maybe you have something known as a hiatus hernia. A hiatus hernia, when the way your body is designed from the perspective of anatomy and physiology, your stomach, just above your stomach is your esophagus. There's a door that closes off the esophagus called the esophagus sphincter. And that is supposed to close. What happens to people if they have a hiatus hernia? The door remains open or slightly ajar, and acid from the stomach comes up and go into the intestine, not into the esophagus, sorry. So what it may mean is that we may have to send you to a chiropractor. There's one that I use personally, me, my family, and I've sent a lot of clients to him and they were quite satisfied. So you could always call the office and we could give you that information. And it may just be a situation where you need to be aligned. Think of alignment as like your car. If you have, all of us drive, and there is some point in time you carry a vehicle for different things, right? So sometimes you might have to go electrical, might want some work, you go and do your regular service, but sometimes you have to align, and then you might have to, what they call, you change your tires, you align and camber, whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of us walking around who want camber in. You better, and you just don't know.
It's true, it's very true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially people with back problems. What are the main? They say like millions and millions. I think maybe hundreds of millions of people suffer from back pain on a daily basis. And let me tell you something: 95% of those persons, the problem is not their back. You know what the problem is? Acid. Lactic acidosis. In order to neutralize our acid, you need a base or alkaline in chemistry. Simple things. You have alkaline, acid. The greatest or the best or most available alkaline or base in the body is calcium. Calcium is stored in your bones in the form of calcium phosphate. In order to neutralize that, when you become very acidic, your thyroid tells your brain, hey, hear what? We need calcium. And it pulls calcium from the warehouses, which are your bones. The largest warehouses for calcium in the body is in your spine. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar. So when you end up with things like lumbar, what they call sciatica and herniated disc and all these type of things, it is because the body is pulling calcium from both. So it's like you have a whole structure. And when you start to remove from the structure, because how the body going to do it? The body going to say, well, here what, we're going to take from L5, and we're going to take from L1, and we're going to take from T. It don't operate so, you know. Yeah, it's not like you're in a warehouse and you're going on. No, the body in emergency, so the body pulling calcium as quick and as fast as wherever he could get it. So he pull from the cervical, then he pull from the thoracic, he pull from the lumbar, then he pull from the long bones. And your diet might be not one that is proper. You may be on medication that further exacerbates that situation. And then you realize, but wait, I'm not getting better and my back hurting me. Nothing hurts me more to see elderly people. I'm a big person or a big advocate of proper posture. Sit properly. You're supposed to sit properly. Because there are a lot of people now who, you see them older and they bend over like this and that kind of thing. And the thing is, when that stays long enough, it is very difficult to correct that. So this is just to help you guys to understand that your alignment. You see, stretching, if you can do stretching in the morning, not be every morning, because you know some are busy, you have to get ready to school and whatever the case may be. But even if you stretch twice for the week, do some deep breathing exercises. It don't have to be long, 10 minutes. You got deep breathing for 10 minutes. You do deep breathing for 10 minutes, at least twice for the week. Here what I tell you, twice for the week, and you will see how that will improve your life, from your posture, from your health. You see, you have to understand your body is a machine, you know. If you buy the most expensive vehicle in the world, regardless of what the vehicle is, a Bugatti, Jaguar, Lamborghini, whatever, buy it. You have money. Put it down there for 2 years and cover it down and then go and drive it and see what happens.
Yes.
Will it move? No. The possibility exists it would not move. Why? Is it an old car? Is it a bad car? No. What it is? Preventative maintenance and use.
Yes.
A body in motion remains in motion. A body at rest remains at rest, right? Simple physics. So if you're not moving, you're going to be in some problems. So Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5, try your best. Sneakers, they know set of money now. Get a proper sneakers. If you could get a skipping rope, if you could still skip, think good with you. Because I know young people cannot skip. Because you know, skipping is actually one of the best things to increase what? Heart rate. You have aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Gym business, strength training, and you have training where you actually increase your oxygen level. Deep breathing and that time. Once you do that, that actually helps with blood pressure. It helps with blood sugar. It helps with arthritis. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So it's not only a matter of just coming to Dr. Batson and Batson and Associates, but there's a lifestyle, you know. Because I do be with only 24 hours. I'm not living in your house. Okay? Question.
All right. Good morning, doctor. Can vitamin B capsules be taken daily? And if yes, for how long?
They can be. I usually use a B12. I usually use it daily. If I'm going to work out, I would use it. I generally use it every day, in all honesty. Yeah? One of the things I help people to understand, and just this week I was saying very quickly, you know, you need to supplement your diet. You have to do it. So B vitamin, I am there with it. But you have to know purpose and individual. So not everyone going to have the same requirements. And I think that's one of the most difficult things to explain to people. So let's say, for example, you give me a 25-year-old male who maybe he working out, he just running on an afternoon and that kind of thing. He has maybe working at 8 to 4. A fella like that, he could take EB12. You might have a 65-year-old female who is home. She's mobile, she moves about, she does exercise, she may exercise maybe 3 times through the week, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, she does walking. So in a case like that, now she may have, let's say she's a diabetic. So I'm just creating a scenario here. So in a case like that, a person like that, I would give you a B12 twice for the week because you exercise, or the 3 days that you're doing exercise, you take the B12. But you have to factor certain things in, and we have to change diet and that kind of thing. So yes, generally, once you're a person who is active and a person who has a lot of demands on you physically, mentally, that type of thing, you must always understand, and I gave an analogy a while back. I tell persons, simple analogy. If you are working taxi from Port of Spain to San Fernando, and somebody else is working taxi from Port of Spain to San Juan, can they service those vehicles the same way? No.
Nope.
Can they use the same amount of fuel? No. No, they wouldn't, right? Yeah. So the thing is the same thing.
The tank might be the same size.
The tank might be the same size, but you use it, and that's why I tell them and that's why the automotive industry is so smart. Business people don't lose money, you know. That industry don't ever lose money. People feel when you buy a car is one price, is the maintenance of the car is what they make money on.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And there is and let me tell you something, there's a contract that you will sign where your warranty, your general warranty, you're supposed to do a service every 5,000 kilometers, and a general service every 20,000 kilometers. Why is it that they pegged the service to the use of the vehicle and not time? Think about it. They didn't peg it to time. Why didn't they say, come and service your vehicle every 6 months or every year? Because it means I might be driving my vehicle and my 5,000 kilometers is every month.
Yes.
My boy inside of the studio, his 5,000 kilometers might be every 6 months.
Yeah.
So we have to understand now, when it comes to supplementation, when it comes to diet ethics, not everybody is the same. Because like the vehicle, where you might be driving the vehicle, if it's a woman driving the vehicle, we know it's a better vehicle again. Because it was what? Better tick. So you understand? So the same applies when it comes to servicing. You have to understand, with you personally, you can be the CEO of a company, you are managing director, you are senior thing, or worse yet, well, oh God, you're in the government. You are a government official. Them should be lining up by me. You had that kind of work with all that stress in your waist and all they don't know to take care. Why you think all of them heart bad? All of them go get heart problems. You can imagine you not debate in parliament, one like me, so who is, well, God, if they had me to deal with. So your pressure high, you just done quarrel about a debate and all kind of, you need to know how to take care of yourself. No sense or no sense. You have to know how to take care of yourself. To whom much is given, much is what? Expected. So you cannot be a man. You have 3 children to take care. You have a wife. You have a house. So you gotta go and you gotta make sure and find money every day to make sure you try and eat, to make sure they go to school. And you don't want to take care of yourself. Well, all right, no problem. Whatever you're doing, you have to give your body back, and a lot of people don't understand that. So you cannot be like the man who servicing, you're driving, you're working from Port of Spain to San Fernando, but you're servicing your vehicle. Like if you're working from Port of Spain to Sawa, you will eventually do what? Shut down. And then the ambulance that they have for cars will come for you. The ambulance for cars are tow trucks. I always tell them that.
Yeah.
Tow truck will come and pick you up. So the same applies to us. So know what it is you're doing, know what your body needs, and let's call us, we go fit the rest for you. You want me to do a diet for you? Diet, I don't know hard for us to do. You want us to do a protocol for you, and nothing hard to do. Make a phone call, come down in the office, and sort out yourself. All right?
All right, we have another question. My glasses broke. I am using my old glasses. I'm getting this in my head. And he's asking, could this raise my blood pressure?
Of course it can raise your blood pressure. What you need to do is go and test your eyes and get your glasses, please. What you're doing there is nonsense. You'll blind yourself. You'll make yourself very sick. Don't do that. Because that prescription would have been the prescription before. So try, I don't know what your financial situation is, whatever the case may be, you know, but the one that break, that's supposed to be good. I don't know if you could stick it back, and I don't know. I guess if it break that bad, but you need to get our glasses. Don't do that. You'll damage your eyes very bad.
All right, we have a detailed question here. Good morning, Dr. Batson. My daughter will be 17 in January.
Nice.
And she has very irregular periods. Her first period was in early 2018, and her last one was in August. She has about 5 periods for each year and a white discharge every day. She's in the hospital at the gynecology clinic. She did an ultrasound and has polycystic ovaries. They said that either come with a suggestion or they will put her on birth control to regulate it. Can you help us, please? Thank you.
Yeah, good. Very good question, actually. That question applies to, must be about 15 or 25% of our population. She definitely has some serious issues. I have not met the child, but I can tell you diet is a serious factor. That child doesn't drink water. I can tell you that. She doesn't drink water. And she's going to have to correct that. Most likely she may not. I mean, I could be wrong, but I show a 98% correct. She doesn't drink enough water. She has some gastrointestinal problems. Most likely she doesn't see her bowel. She doesn't get, or her bowels doesn't move on a daily basis. She may get bowel movement maybe 2 or 3 times to the week. And because of that gastrointestinal imbalance issue, she now has an endocrine imbalance issue. And as a result of her endocrine imbalance, she now has hormonal imbalance. Hence the reason why her period is going to be irregular. I suggest that she takes the bull by the horn. You as the parent help her. Because if she does not correct that situation in some years, she's going to have to get a hysterectomy. If you do not know what a hysterectomy is surgical removal of your uterus. Total hysterectomy is surgical removal of your uterus as well as your ovaries. And ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago, and to all the women who have done hysterectomies and think that your life is good and it wasn't that bad, keep that advice to yourself, please. Because organs are very, very important. Whether you believe in creation or you believe that you come from wherever, I believe in creation, there is a reason why every organ is present. If God forbid you're in a situation, emergency is just that. I don't think if you have a definition of what the word emergency is. And as I said in the beginning of our conversation, when the physical body requires help, the physical body takes priority. Always. So you get in an accident, because let me tell you something, what happened to a lot of women. Women, when they have really bad menstrual cycles, and the thing is, a bad menstrual cycle culminates and gets worse. You always keep in mind that sickness is cumulative and progressive. You know? Chronic disease, diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, those diseases are chronic diseases or became chronic over a period of time. You know? You do not become a diabetic overnight. A young lady doesn't get polycystic ovaries overnight. That is over a period of time. And one of the problems that you realize, especially if you have I had young nieces that I had to deal with. Some of them, they would have been in my close company for a period of time when they were going to school and that kind of thing. And I had to tailor certain things for them. And they would get buff. I tell you, buff up. Because I didn't want them eating certain things. And I explained to them as young women. There was one in particular. She had a terrible menstrual cycle. She could not go to school. Very intelligent young lady, brilliant. But it started to interfere with her schoolwork. And it's when we took the bull by the horn, I told her, I said, listen to me, young lady, you know I am not your mother with you. When I'm dealing with you, I'm dealing with you like if I was your father. You have to eat A, you have to eat B, you have to go. If it is I'm going in the evening with you, you're going to walk, whatever the case may be. And that's how they got results. And they got way better than how they were before. So in this case with your daughter, and anyone who listening who has young daughters, 14, 15, 16, 17, y'all are telling all you, watch these young ladies, sit down and have a conversation with your children. Because do you know, let me say this quickly, there's a young lady I dealt with, 14 years. When she came to me, she had a cyst the size of a grapefruit. You know? This is a 14-year-old child. You know? But you all know what the diet was, right? She loved meat. Start with C. And right, you know, all they know the fry one. They love that. Yes. And end with that end, yeah. So because of eating that, in the volume that they're eating. And remember, you have to understand, they're not taking cleanse. These young ladies not taking detox. Children don't understand the importance of water, you know. You check for yourself. It have adults in drinking water. What do you think them children and them doing?
Yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, we used to have to drink water, you know. My great-grandmother used to say, hey, you drink water for the day? No, granny. Come.
Yes.
And you get a glass of water and watch me. You have to stand up there and drink the water, you know.
Yes.
So this menstrual cycle thing is bad. But ma'am, in the whole long and short of the story, we can help you. But I'm telling you from now, your daughter going to have to make some changes because there are some things that she's doing lifestyle-wise that she doesn't understand is detrimental to her. And that's the problem with a lot of young people now. You have to understand that old people was once young. So don't get on like if it is we stupid and we don't know what we're talking about and all they're bright now because all they are internet, more internet and cable and whatever than us.
Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z. And all they are TikTok now. So all they TikToking up and down the place. No. Old people still have sense. And you have to understand the fundamentals of diet ethics. So young ladies, I'm telling you from now, if you have a problem with your menstrual cycle, do not take that for granted. Parents, so like how this parents asked this question, you hear what she said? She said her daughter got her period, the last period, when she said? 2018?
2018.
The first one was in 2018.
2018, right. And then?
Was in August.
Was in August. And she said sometime for the year. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So she missed period August, September, October, November. No. That is what you call irregular menstrual cycle. And when your cycle is that irregular, it means that your hormonal imbalance is at a different level. And again, and this is not criticizing the medical community, but you see the recommendation they make? Birth control. Why would you want to put a 17-year-old child on birth control? Any medical professional know that that is a last resort. And ladies and gentlemen, that resort is not a good resort. That young lady is going to have a difficult life. If it is she ends up to the point where she wants to procreate, she could possibly reach a stage where she cannot procreate. Our next word that a lot of people don't understand, or some statistics. Do you know, because in Trinidad, we need to work on our statistics and how we keep statistics. But we have an infertility problem in this country. You know? I don't know if you're all aware of it. We have a serious problem with infertility. There are a lot of people who have been together and it's not, and don't feel bad. And let me tell you something. When a woman cannot make children, even long time that was, that was real bad, because long time it have people, it have women who, it's a bad thing. It's not a nice thing. It doesn't feel good when you want a child and you cannot make a child. You understand? And then most importantly, a healthy child. Because the thing is, anyone who gets pregnant, you want to carry to term. Because when you lose during that period of time, the feelings, the emotion is as if you lost a living child. That's not a nice thing. That's not I remember dealing with a client who came to me and they had, was it 8? They had 8 miscarriages. 8 of them. And it's only when they came to us and I told her, I said, listen to me. This is your problem here. This is your problem. This is your problem. You're going to take this. You're going to take this number. You're going to call this person. I sent her to a chiropractor. I said, your womb is out of place. Your womb is weak. And she had bad hormonal imbalance. I said, you will never. I said, you could get pregnant 100 times. You will not carry that child to term until we change what you're doing here. And I spoke to her seriously and her husband. I said, your diet needs to change. This foolishness you're eating. She said, I'm eating ice whole there and thing. Because she's anemic. She's sick.
Yeah.
And when we corrected the situation.
Dr. Batson, a lot of persons don't know that that is a symptom of being
of anemic. Yeah. Women who love to eat, even if you eat sand, people who eat, some of them go and eat red sand and that type of thing. That's a sign of mineral deficiency. Anytime you're feeling to eat sand and dirt, you have problems with iron deficiency, D3 deficiency. And not only that, you also have problems with the way your body assimilates B vitamins. Remember, B vitamins is one of the largest spectrum of vitamins, right? You have B1, B3, B12, B6, B7. You have a few. You actually have 18, one which is B17, which is lateral, right? People don't understand that a lot of persons do not process B vitamins properly. So sometimes you may not show anemic on a blood report. And I've seen this with a lot of persons, but you know what's the giveaway? Your blood pressure. Just recently, I had a client who came to me. And when I looked at her, I said, show me the palm of your hand. I told her husband, I said, what, you see your wife's hand? He said, no. I said, watch your hand. Watch my hand. Her eyes. I said, watch your eyes. She said, yeah, my eye white. I said, watch your husband's eye. Watch my eye. There's a difference in the whiteness. And then no, but the blood report showed 13.5, which was correct. So when I looked at it, I said, no. I said, something wrong here. I watched. I said, blood pressure. So we took the blood pressure again. Her blood pressure was 103/80. I said, usually, how much your blood pressure is? She said, that's been lower than that. That's been 96 something. I said, so you are anemic. So the anemia, and a lot of people, a lot of doctors don't understand that. So which is why when they give you ferrous sulfate to take or iron tablets, I am not an advocate of that. Because iron, in the absence of vitamin C, constipates you. Yeah, right? Yeah. So the thing is, when you're looking to build your blood count, you need to use what we call complex or nutrient-dense foods, CMOS, beetroot. And then from the supplemental perspective, we carry like advanced chlorophyll. Molasses. People don't know molasses is something that's build your blood count, but you just have to know how to use it. So normally I would recommend molasses with inflammation formula, and I give you the advanced chlorophyll, and we build up the blood count. And that problem, and the problem with the coldness, even when procreating and making children, a lot of women who have infertility problem, the problem lies in the strength of the blood. If that blood is not strong enough, you would not carry to term. You would not. And there's a number of things that has to be taken into consideration when a female is looking to get pregnant. From the position of her womb, from whether you have fibroids, whether you have polycystic ovaries, whatever the case may be. Okay? Good. Okay, so it's now 11:52.
Yeah, so we're out of time.
We're out of time. Okay, so let me just quickly say, I'll continue on my live just for a few minutes to cover up some of the questions I'm going to give you. Keep in mind, you could give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And that's for the head office of Batson and Associates. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Supporting your health naturally. To the listeners of Sky 99.5, always a pleasure to be in your company. Take the buff in love and, make sure and plate your food today. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure and take care. God bless. Mr. Samuel, sir, it was nice seeing you. Yes. I hear the voice all the time, and now I get the face. I say, but I know this voice.
Yes. Good old friend and buddy, pal.
Yes, man. Take care of yourself, man.
Hey, Dr. Batson, take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes, social media. Woo. Some of them must go on and leave me. The amount of questions we had here. So that client who said that she had problems as regards to the ordering of the product, I do really apologize for that. But keep in mind, you can give us a call, and that telephone number you can call us on would be 314. That's 314-9975. Right, Ms. Melissa K. Clark, Dr. Batson, would you recommend slippery elm for digestive problems or issues? Yeah, that's actually a good product. You have to be careful though. Slippery elm don't agree with everyone. So you might have to take a little bit first and see how it goes with you and then. All right. Ms. Jennifer Valentine, always a pleasure. Good morning. How are you doing? She says, Dr. Batson, what are the benefits of male vitality? Which male vitality are you referring to? That's a product that we would have sent for them. Male vitality helps with prostate problems. Oh, right. I know what it does. Give my husband that. Prostate, it also helps with proper male function, that type of thing. That's something that you'd be able to get some help with. Okay. Ms. Brenda Newton says, power in the house today, Dr. Batson. I have to pray for you. Morale. God bless. Thank you so very much. Ms. Frederica Joseph, she says, Dr. Batson and Associates, thank you for all your great free information. God bless you and your team. Thank you so very much. Okay, Facebook family. So this brings our live to an end. Yes?
Christmas special.
Okay, right. So Shakil is telling me that we have our Christmas special. Have we put in that? Sorry, my apologies. Okay, good. So look forward to some specials and whatnot that we'll be having in the very near future. We have the pensioner special. We also have that special with the blood and the blood analysis, as well as that special. Our product of this month is what? Optimizer. And Optimizer is actually the product of the month. So you guys could get some information as regards to that. So it's always a pleasure to be in your company. And of course, next week, please God, we're going to have some specials for you. There are some things I need to change up. We're going to have some new things that we're going to be dealing with. Mr. Courtney Park says, hi, Doc. Does taking steroid tablets cause constipation? It can. It can cause constipation. It doesn't apply to everyone, but it does in some cases. Ms. Roxanne Didier, she says, Doc, what can be used for thyroid causing weight loss difficulties? There's a product we carry, Batson and Associates, the Advanced Chlorophyll, the Silver, or the Mineral Formula, and there's one called Thyroid Formula. You could check that out as well. Okay? Ms. Melissa K. Clark, she said, I have an appointment on Friday in Penal. Would you be there? Ms. Clark, no, I would not be there. Friday, that is going to be either Mr. Green or it is either going to be Mr. Bustamante, one of my my consultants. My next day in Debe, I think it's not this Saturday coming, but the Saturday after that I should be in Debe. So you could always get some information with that. Ms. Pamela Moses, she says, has a great day, Doc, and reach home safe. Same to you, my dear. Ms. Suzette Dempster says, good morning, Doc. Blessed week. Same to you. Okay, guys, so I'm taking my leave now. As usual, it has been a pleasure in your company. I hope that you guys would have benefited from the live. And next week, please God, we're going to have some programs. We apologize when Thursday gone because of the rain and whatnot. I only did one program, which was the 11 to 11:30 program. Okay, so that's something that we hopefully this week we can get all our programs in. And we'll be able to help some more people. Those of you international clients, don't forget, you can get your products. You can have them shipped to you. You can give us a call on 1-868-373. That's 373-2388 or 1-868-314-9975. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Let me give you those telephone numbers again. An office, keep in mind for Chagonas, it's 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. God bless you guys, and do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.